Welcome to Boxfest II at the Owl's Nest, Canada's premier boxing venue. Recently expanded to seat 1,000, the Owl's Nest has become a destination for boxing fans around the world. Taking the stage are some of the most electrifying fighters from Canada, the United States, and Mexico. You'll witness Mathusan Mahindas fighting for his 4th consecutive win. Johnny the Greek squares off against one of his toughest opponents yet. And the main event will feature Prince Lucas Bahdi fighting to increase his undefeated 11-0 record. It's Boxfest at the Owl's Nest, baby, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Boxfest at the Owl's Nest, 2nd edition. These fights are brought to you by Red Owl Boxing with integrity, and we are live on DAZN. I'm Joe Tilley, along with the Canadian kid, Steve Molitor, 2-time world super bantamweight champion, and Francis. Now, Steve, this is the world-class boxing facility here at the Owl's Nest. We were here back in May. Since that time, Gabriel Fanous and his team decided that it was time to expand this place. There are now 1,000 seats in here. The place is jam-packed. There's not a bad seat in the house. You fought venues all over the world. Tell me, how does this size up?
I fought in front of 18,000 people at the Bell Center on the Arturo Gatti undercard. When I won my world title, though, it was very similar to this situation. 1,500 people maximum. Unfortunately, they're cheering against me, but the vision that Gabe and his team have to build a boxing home here in Ontario, to build their fighters, to build their main fighters, Zoltarano, into a future world champion. I'm just so excited for the sport of boxing, and so excited for the big crowd here tonight at the Red Owl Boxing.
Well, you mentioned your fight in London, and you won the title from Michael Hunter back in November 2006. Then you went and defended your title 5 times. At that point, you were 28-0. We got a couple of young up-and-coming fighters tonight who are undefeated, who have that O. How important is it for a young fighter?
I mean, it's very important. Obviously, you got to keep that mentality to what got you there. You have to stay strong and keep training hard, but you can't let the big 29, 28-0 get to your head where you think that, you're invincible and you can miss a workout here or take a shortcut here. That's the time when you actually have to do more and do extra to get to that next level.
We got a fighter, Lucas Bahdi, who is 12-0, looking to go 13-0 today, and he's he's in the lightweight division. That is such a strong division. You think about Tank Davis, and you think of Javante Tank Davis, and Devin Haney, and
Ryan Garcia,
Vasily Lomachenko. That's such a stacked division. How does he find himself into the upper echelon, and how does he make his way there?
Lucas Bahadi got off to the greatest start of a professional career. I found I was so impressed with Philo Greco and the way they got him to 10-0 with 10 knockouts. They got him fights in Mexico. They got him fights in the United States. They kept him very, very busy. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, he had a major setback where he wasn't as active. He fought in his hometown of Niagara Falls, won the 10-round decision for his first time ever, and I think nothing but the great things for Lucas Bahadi. Like I said, he's got great talent, a great team behind him. All he has to do is keep winning instead of stepping up in talent, and here tonight should be the toughest opponent of his career.
He will be challenged tonight. Francis, from the Weigh-In podcast, want to bring you in here now. What are your thoughts on this card tonight?
Well, definitely going to be a sensational card. Thank you, Joe. Always good to be with you guys. At the same time, Lucas Bahadi that he was talking about, activity, I feel like is going to be one of the key factors to him getting into that other half of the lightweight division. If he can stay active, stay in the ring, putting on sensational performances like he's looking to do tonight, he'll be in that spot. In terms of the rest of the card, there's some fighters on here that are young in their career, and it's time for them to show the world just what they're all about.
All right, Francis will be updating us throughout the fight. He'll give us updates after each round on his scoring, and we'll have some fun there, I'm sure. Steve, you'll probably not agree with everything he says. All right, we're going to get underway, and let's go to the first bout of the evening, and ring announcer David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and welcome to the Owl's Nest here in beautiful Brampton, Ontario, Canada, where Red Owl Boxing and DAZN proudly present Boxfest at the Owl's Nest 2, an evening of top-flight professional prize fighting for your entertainment. We are sponsored tonight by Aero Facility Management, Power Staffing Solutions, Hearts Premium Pre-Rolls, Sugar Rush, and the Aero Group of Companies. All of our contests tonight are sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission, Commissioner at ringside, Luke Kotick. Our timekeeper for the evening is Joel Bunag, and medical supervision at ringside by Dr. Mark Boutros and Dr. Omar Chowdhury. Fight fans, we've got 6 great bouts in store for you this evening, ranging from the lightweight to the super middleweight division. And it all culminates with our main event, the return of the knockout king of Niagara, Prince Lucas Bahdi. And without further ado, the action starts right now. A warm welcome, please, for Marlon Perez Juarez.
Get a closer look at Marlon Perez.
Juarez, the La Roca, they call him, the Rock. 26 years old from Mexico City. 1-0. He's had 1 pro fight. He won that by knockout.
And now making his way down to the ring, a warm welcome, please.
Me ayuda a estabilizar mis emociones. Mi estilo de lucha es fajarme al tú por tú, al golpe por golpe, quítate y vamos. Me gusta mucho demasiado. Y el día de hoy voy a ganar la pelea. Vengo preparado, motivado y con la gracia de Dios vamos a triunfar el día de hoy.
Here he comes to the ring, Tristan Brookes.
Tristan Brookes, the 22-year-old from Mississauga, T-Grizzly. All right. He is also 1-0. Won his fight by a knockout.
I've known Tristan since back in the amateur days. He's a great technical boxer. He's done a lot of good work with his head coach, Tony Wallace.
This is boxing, man. I don't know why people think this is like a game or something. When I'm getting ready to fight, like it's a war. It's not a chip on my shoulder, it's the attitude that you have to have when you come in this sport, period. This is why we in this place training 24/7. I'm a fighter, I'm a boxer, I'm everything, you know what I mean? I could do everything, you know what I mean? It is what it is, I adapt, right? That's what it is about sport. You gotta adapt.
All right, let's have a look here at the tail of the tape. We have Tristan Brookes, 29 years old, 6'2". He's got a pretty good reach advantage.
You know, all the things that are important in this fight, the height, the reach, and the weight, they're all in Tristan Brookes' favor, so he's got a lot of advantages. And plus, you heard that crowd roar when they heard his name being called to walk to the ring. So on top of the hometown support, he's got a lot of physical advantages that will play fair and in his favor tonight.
T-Grizzly crowd tonight.
T-Grizzly crowd, for sure. But, you know, you mentioned he's got an extensive amateur career, Steve. He's 2-time Canadian champion, boxing for 10 years. He told me that he got into boxing to keep him from fighting on the streets. He's got a Grenadian background. and he wants to be an inspiration for Grenadian and Canadian fighters. Let's go to David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the opening bout of the evening. Red Owl Boxing proudly presents 4 rounds or less in the super middleweight division. Our judges for this contest scoring at ringside are Alan Davis, Deborah Wong, and Jeremy Hayes. And once the action begins, the third man in the ring, Mark Simmons. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, and tonight wearing white, green, and red. His official weight, 163 pounds even. He enters the ring tonight with a record of 1 win against no defeats, 1 win coming by way of knockout. He comes to us from Mexico City, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Marlon Perez Juarez. And his opponent on my right, fighting tonight out of the red corner and wearing white trimmed with blue. His official weight, 161.25 pounds. He also enters the ring with a record of 1 win against no defeats, 1 win coming by way of knockout, hailing from and representing Mississauga, Ontario. Here is the amateur standout, Tristan Brookes.
Boxers, we went over the instructions in the dress room. Obey my commands at all time. Shorts are good. These are high. Belt line is good. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
All right, here we go. Our first bout of the evening here from the Owl's Nest. Tristan Brookes.
Right off the bat, Tristan in his southpaw stance, popping that jab.
Somebody's always got to go. Both these fighters are undefeated, and somebody's always got to go tonight.
And as I've learned over the years, especially being in the gyms in Mexico, just because somebody doesn't necessarily have the perfect smooth smile as we see from Perez winging some wild shots, believe me when I tell you, he's here to win tonight. He's not here to lose, and he'll be swinging for the penches as he landed a couple good overhand rights there.
We see him swing. It's a big, wild, looping rights. Brookes is going to, he's got to settle in. This is just his second pro fight. Got to keep his composure here as Perez Juarez tries to stalk him here. There's a right hand that lands.
And that's the sort of stuff that Tristan's really got to be careful for, especially if not being in the ring for 2 years. You cannot be taking unnecessary shots while leaning back like that, especially against a heavy-handed Mexico in Marlon Perez. He's got to stand outside and box beautifully just like that and keep Perez on the outside.
Using the center of the ring would come in handy right about now.
Using that jab, that long jab to control the distance, control his fighters. What do you got to do right now?
And he's got to, and he should be constantly as a southpaw against a tough Mexican with the right hand. He's got to be moving to his right, away from the right hand. So then, realistically, all the threat you only have is the hook. And if you get caught with the hook moving to the right, then you got bigger problems.
Oh, there's a good left hand landed, left cross right on the chin by Tristan Brookes. Brookes, the white trunks with the blue trim. And Perez Juarez from Mexico City, Mexico, with the Mexican colors on his trunks.
Credit to Perez, though, because Tristan Brookes is landing a few clean, hard shots, and they haven't even phased Perez as his knees buckle there.
A left-right combination, buckle the knees, and down he goes.
That was a short right hook as Perez stepped in. Tristan Brookes stepped back and threw that check right hook and
stayed in the fire.
Perez couldn't withstand the power of the right hook.
Well, he's got him in some trouble here. Let's see if he can finish this off. He's got about 30 seconds in this round to do it.
Set it up behind the jab.
And that's what Tristan's got to remember. He didn't get this by going and swinging wild. He got this by boxing beautifully from the outside and not rushing and looking for it.
And listen, I'll tell you.
Just like that step back right there and a beautiful uppercut to the body.
Well done. Real nice bit of boxing here by Brookes. because I mean,
Good body shot.
Perez Juarez is a dangerous fighter. You can tell that right hand has some oomph on it if he can land it. But now Brookes has got him in trouble.
Referee Mark Simmons taking a very close look.
And they landed the right hand. And that brings us to the end of round 1, and what a round it was.
What a great round, especially with the inactivity of Tristan Brookes. You know what I mean? He looked very good in there. I mean, he boxed well. He didn't rush and try to swing for the fences. He did lean back a few times, which, I mean, maybe is I know is
He's
Mayweather
offsetting the overhand,
style.
right,
Yeah.
that overhand trying to catch it on the shoulder.
But when these Mexicans come in, are throwing wild, weird, awkward shots. You got to make sure that
Here's
chin
the
is checked.
Here's a look at the replay,
And
guys.
just a short check right hook, like I said. Perez stepped in, and he got hit with that short check right hook. That was a little bit of a pull behind the head there.
He landed 2 good shots before that hook, too. And they're right in the button, and that's what got Perez Juarez in a little bit of trouble there. But after a little bit of a slow start, a real nice finish to round 1 by
Look out for that
Tristan
uppercut
Grizzly
finish.
Brooks.
Hey, Joe, look out for the uppercut finish. He's setting the jab up, and he's swinging that uppercut
And
on
he
the
is
inside.
whipping the uppercut, and he's landed to the head end of the body.
Clean.
What I want to make clear, for instance, he's keeping that chin in the air
Yeah.
for one of those wild, weird, awkward shots on
Yeah.
the overhand right
You got to keep
from
his hands
Marlon
up.
Perez, and his chin down.
Yep.
And as you mentioned, why not move to her? You're right? Stay away from that power hand. Oh, good. There's the uppercut. There's the uppercut. Oh, and he took a right hand.
Showed he got a good chin.
Offense, defense. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he is walking in that right hand a little bit, though, moving to his left.
Yes, sir.
There's a good combination by Brookes. There goes the mouthpiece of Perez Juarez.
That was a mouthpiece of Tristan Brookes.
Oh, was it?
It was, but until there's a lull in the action, referee Mark Simmons won't stop it, and there is definitely not a lull in the action right now.
Even though he lost his mouthpiece, Tristan Brookes, he appears to be in pretty good control here. Now he's going to take a minute to clean that mouthpiece.
Tristan, hands up. Hands up. Work the jab. Go back to the body, kid.
I saw the mouthpiece come out. I just made the assumption it was Perez Juarez.
Taking all the shots. No, it slipped out of Tristan's mouth when he was throwing the punches there, but we're back to action. Mark Simmons did the right thing. He waited till there's a lull in the action, and then he gave the corner of Tristan Brookes time to replace
You got to
it.
protect the teeth.
Right. Well, you know, Mark, who is a great fighter in his own right, understands the game, that's for sure. A great referee. He's become an incredible referee.
Tristan got to go back to setting up behind the jab. You got to go back to pumping the jab, just like
There
that.
it is, yeah. Good combination.
Everything off the jab.
Yeah. Oh,
And you can't step back with your hands. You can't step back against an orthodox fighter. That's the rule number 1 for a southpaw. You spin out to the right.
Oh. He calls it a slip, okay? That's a slip. But you can tell that there's a lot of bad intentions on that right hand from Perez Juarez.
Like I said at the outset, he's here to fight. He's here to win.
Good combination by Brookes. But Perez Juarez continues to wade in. They call him La Roca, the Rock.
I like Tristan going to the body. He's establishing going to the body early in this fight.
He's taking his time. He's looking for those openings, whether it be to the head or the body. He's being very patient.
Yep.
But he's got to be careful leaning back like that with his hands down.
And his chin in the air.
Oh, there's a good uppercut. Another one. Right hand. Oh, there's a great combination.
Perez is hurt.
To the body. Back up to the head. There goes the mouthpiece of Perez Juarez. Oh, no, it wasn't.
It's the accumulation that's going to take Perez out. It's not going to be one shot. When Tristan Brookes lets his hands go, it's going to be the accumulation that is breaking him down.
And Perez doesn't like the body shots.
That was a wild round. Let's have a look at the replays here from that round, guys. All right, let's take a look at the replays here from round 2.
I mean, when Tristan's boxing the outside, there we see that check hook again. It was a little bit more of a push. I don't think it was I think Mark Simmons made the right call by calling it a slip. It was a pull down.
Although he did land just before he went down. Here it is again. That was a slip. That was a slip, no question. Perez Juarez was off balance at the time, and down he went. Your card after 2 rounds, what are you seeing here, Francis?
Definitely have Tristan Brookes in commanding control right now. Definitely leading this fight with the knockdown in the first round. Looking to end this fight as soon as possible.
All right, should this go to the decision, we've got their judges are Alan Davis, Deborah Wong, and Jeremy Hayes tonight. And once again, Mark Simmons, the referee. Here we go, round 3. Scheduled for 4. Both of these fighters 1-0. Both had a knockout in the first time out. And as we've seen so far, they've got a little bit of pop, these guys.
Tristan got to get back to setting up that jab. Going to the body. Going back to the body.
He does, and after he lands a 3-4 punch combo like he just did there, he's got to get it or take that angle.
Back to the body.
Because that's the only time that Perez is hitting him is when Tristan stands there after landing a beautiful combination. He's got to throw those shots and roll out just like he did back there.
Yep.
Doing a nice job of slipping those wild punches from Perez Juarez.
I think he can turn those uppercuts to the body to uppercut to the head and end this fight. Just like that.
Yep.
And he hurt Perez there.
And he made him pay, for sure.
Like Francis said, that uppercut, that left uppercut from the southpaw stance, right between those gloves, and he did it again.
Oh!
And hats off to Marlon Perez for taking uppercut after uppercut and still throwing back. But guys, I know the majority of the people here are looking for a knockout and want to see a knockout so bad, but these are good rounds, especially with the layoff that Tristan Brookes had. These are the rounds that he needs to get him to that next level of his career. Are these good, tough rounds against a tough Mexican who's not here to lie down.
Go to rounds.
He's doing a really good job of slipping those punches and coming back and countering.
So we got to give some hats off to Gabe and the Red Owl team for putting on a good fight. Not a guy who's going to come here, get hit hard once and lay down. This guy, Marlon Perez, is here to win, and this is getting good rounds for their student in Tristan Brookes.
That's that uppercut again by Tristan Brookes here in round 3. Final minute now of the 3rd round.
Got to go back to the body.
He does. You got to reach around them elbows. I told Coach Tony Wallace in between rounds, you're going to reach between those elbows and hit that liver, and it'll make a world of difference.
In the words of the great Teddy Atlas, you got to put water in the basement, Steve.
That's right.
Pop got to put water in the basement.
Pop that chain, Tristan.
Good uppercut there on the inside.
Another hook.
But hats off to Marlon Perez. I mean, Tristan's doing what he wants in there, but Marlon Perez is keeping him honest with throwing a wild wing and hard shot once in a while. Just to keep him honest a little bit. So hats off to Marlon Perez because he could have found a way out of here real early in this fight.
He's taking some big shots early on.
Yeah, and you talked about Brookes getting some rounds in, and this is really good for his learning curve. All right, that's the end of round 3. All right, let's go to Francis' scorecard.
Definitely.
Francis, what are you seeing?
After 3 rounds, I definitely have Tristan Brookes in commanding lead. He's definitely working that jab early on. He's going to the body. He's going to the body. He's establishing early on in this fight that his jab, his reach, his movement, his agility from side to side is definitely looking to be a problem for Perez.
And you see the beautiful body work early. Even in the 1st and 2nd round, it just makes me so happy when you see a young stud like Tristan Brookes doing things that, most guys, it takes them 15, 16 fights to get that championship level where they really start knowing how to dig to the body and see the effects of really taking the life out of somebody when you start working that body from the opening bell.
I asked Tristan Brookes before the fight yesterday, I said, is there any fighter that you pattern yourself after? And he said, you know what, I've got my own unique style. I consider myself an artist, and this is his canvas. And right now he's painting a very nice picture, wouldn't you say?
Close that window.
This is the final?
4th and final round.
Well, barring a miracle, all Tristan's got to do is continue to box on the outside and maybe wing a head body shot real hard to the liver of Perez.
Oh yeah, he's doing a fantastic job of countering with that uppercut. Oh, there's a good left hand.
Tristan's really doing well by not engaging in a war with Marlon Perez. He's staying on the outside boxing, and he's landing those hard, effective combinations to the body and to the head.
I'd like to see him this round go back to the body. He's head hunting a little bit. Want him to go back to the body.
Right.
And the finish will come.
He really doesn't need to engage in a war here, as you mentioned, Steve. He's got this fight, I think, totally in control. And, you know, just keep doing what he's doing, because what he's doing is good.
It is what it is good, but you mean as a championship level mentality fighter, you mean you want to put on a show for your people. I mean, he knows this guy can't touch him as long as he boxes smart. But he's got to take some chance and maybe load up, as he does there with a beautiful left uppercut. Would have been money all night, especially from that southpaw stance.
Oh, there's the right.
Got hit with two left hands.
Two overhand rights landed for Perez. He had that chin in the air. That's the only thing I have critical to say about Tristan Brookes here tonight. When he goes back and watches this fight, sometimes when he's engaged and he had that chin in the air, and you can't do that because the right hand's coming from when you're in a southpaw stance. The guy's right hand's coming. So if Tristan, if you watch his back, my man, just make sure and keep that chin down, that hand up when you're going in there on the attack or pulling back straight out. Because that's the only time Marlon Perez has had success tonight, is when he got a little bit lackluster with his defense and got hit with a wild looping overhand right.
And I believe Tristan is showing that he got heart tonight, standing in there with Perez, giving him some moments, but letting him know that tonight is my night.
Without question, great performance by Tristan Brookes.
Head down goes Perez.
And it was the accumulation. It wasn't one big shot. It was 3, 4, 5, 6 that put Marlon Perez down for the count. Referee marks him and waves it off. And not a bad call.
That was a good call. He was really stung by that last series of punches.
He had taken a lot of punishment from the opening bell. Credit to Marlon Perez for standing there tough. But a great performance and a great finish from the hometown boy, Tristan T. Grizzly Brookes.
You know, guys, you guys both talked about it, and you know, Brookes could have just stood there and boxed and walked away with an easy, unanimous decision, but he wanted to put on a show for the hometown crowd. Let's have a look back at the replay of that knockdown. Here we go.
Started with the right hook.
And ended with the right hook.
The short uppercut on the inside, followed by a beautiful short check right hook, is what really did the damage to Marlon Perez. You see the hook there. That was earlier in the fight when he caught him behind the head.
Right on the top of the head, yeah.
Here we go.
There's the uppercut, followed by some big, heavy shots, and it was the accumulation from Tristan Brookes. It wasn't one big shot.
That was huge.
There was the right uppercut.
The uppercut I told you would end that fight. That nice uppercut.
Yeah, great combination, and that was the one that put him, that scored the knockout. All right.
Well, we talked about Tristan Brookes putting on a show for his fans tonight. Is it safe to say he did that?
Without question. He boxed beautifully. He hasn't been in the ring. He has been a little bit inactive. He boxed beautifully from the outside, worked the head and the body good, used his angles. A few things critically I could say is, he pulled back a little bit and got a little bit lack on his defense. But overall, great performance considering he hasn't been the most active fighter in the province.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to David Neiman now with the official numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time comes at 2 minutes 34 seconds of the fourth and final round. Referee marks him and calls a halt to the action, declaring your winner by TKO, Tristan Brookes.
There you have it, 2:34 of the fourth round. I mean, another 26 seconds, and and Marlon Perez Juarez gets the distance, but you know, I think Mark Simmons did a great job there. It was clear that he was in big trouble.
It was a great call on the knockdown and a great performance by Triston Brookes and his trainer Tony Wallace. I know they're in the gym working hard to perfect their craft, and Tristan did a lot of good things in there tonight. Boxed from the southpaw stance on the outside. He boxed good, he looked good. Let's hang it up to Tristan.
All right, here's George Nacios with Triston Brookes, now 2-0.
All right, we're with your winner here, Triston Brookes, 2-0 now. Your first win. You got the stoppage in the first round. Looked like you might have had it again tonight. Looked like you might have had it. You had some big bombs thrown there. Did you think he was going to get up after that big shot you landed in the first round?
Hey, he was a tough guy, but everybody's a tough fighter in this sport, right? So it is what it is. I did what I had to do. Homeboy's out of here. Let's get on to the next one, yo.
I hear you. After he got up, though, it looked like you went for the kill. You're like, I'm not going to let this go too much longer. I don't want to go to the second round. Did you really want to just put him back down again and not go to the second round there?
I took what he gave me. He gave me a hit. I gave it to him. So, you know what it is. We're out here with the work. Brooks' team is out here. My sister, everybody. Just want to say, we on the zone, baby. Keep watching.
Okay, one more for you here, one more. You had the decision probably, you had the 3 rounds, you had the 4th there, but did you want to make sure that you stopped it and didn't have to make it go to decision? Did you want that KO on your record?
Hey, I do this for myself. If he gets KO'd, then he get KO'd. If he goes in a decision, he goes in a decision. But today he left with a KO, so that's all that matters.
All right, your winner, Triston Brookes. Congratulations.
Hey.
All right, Triston Brookes. If it went to KO, it went to KO. If it went to distance, it went to distance. And it was the KO that did it. Very impressive performance by Triston Brookes as he improves to 2-0.
And he's got a very bright future ahead of him. He's only 29 years old. I know he's very dedicated in the gym. He takes his sport very, very seriously. And for anybody with 2 hands and a heartbeat, that is more than half the battle. If you really want it and you're willing to put in the sacrifice, miss the parties, miss the clubs, stick to your diet, stick to your road work, and do all those above things, that will put you in a yes, maybe category. But if you're not willing to do that, it'll be a never. But Tristan's willing to put in the work. He's got the team behind him, so he has a very bright future, and I'm looking forward to see the progression of his career.
What I like the most is the fact that he changed up his game. He fought from the inside, he fought from the outside. He banged and he boxed. He showed that he has the ability to do both with the distance and at close range. I love the performance tonight. Definitely action-packed, and he closed the show like a champion.
Yeah. You know, it's like when he was moving the wrong way a little bit early on. He corrected that problem, and he stayed away from the power hand of Marlon Juarez. But now, there's 2 guys in here tonight who won the World Championship, lost it, and then regained it. One is our pal Steve Muller. The other guy is a guy named Lennox Lewis, who did it twice. He's in the house tonight, and we're going to go and hear from Lennox Lewis right now.
Helping fighters in Ontario and in Canada, and hopefully create some champions, which we will create some champions and some good fighters. Creating a platform for them, like Red Owl has done, for them as well around the world. Bring other boxers or potential champions into a place where they can become champions, and making it more, allowing it to be more easier for you. And that's by saying, you know, instead of being trained by a person that's, you know, doesn't really know anything about boxing and, you know, is giving you bad info, and then when you go out there you can't be successful. I want to create a place where you can come and train you to become a champion.
And there's somebody who knows what he's talking about, Lennox Lewis. You've got some good trainers here at Red Owl. They got some good trainers here in Ontario and Canada. I mean, a lot of great trainers here. All right, we're ready now for our second bout of the evening. 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Let's go to David Neiman.
All right, fight fans, it's time for the next bout of the evening. Now about to make his way down to the ring, please welcome Jose Bolanos.
Okay, let's have a look at our first fighter here in the second bout, Jose Gutierrez Bolanos, nicknamed Tacho.
Me gusta mucho la disciplina, me gusta mucho hacer ejercicio y vaya, si tienes un sueño, pues tienes que buscarlo. Me gusta ser agresivo, ir para adelante, buscando el cuerpo, buscando la cabeza, no ir hacia atrás, a menos de que sea para defender y contragolpear, yendo hacia adelante. Buscamos ganar nosotros y ese es el objetivo.
And across the ring from him
and
tonight,
now making his way down to
Larone.
the ring, please
White
welcome
Lion,
Lerone Whyte.
Let's learn a little more from Larone Whyte.
Both know you don't. Thought I was ready for life, it's like a rodeo. Trials and tribulations, regrets, gotta face them. Look into the mirror.
Okay, Larone Whyte being wrapped in tonight by Dat Kid RJ. Dat Kid RJ. You can follow him on Instagram. This guy is an up-and-coming sensational young rapper. Follow him on Instagram. That's Dat, D-A-T, Kid, with 2 Ds, RJ. Yeah, sounds fantastic. We heard him earlier.
Lately, I'm screaming, fuck friends. They say they know me, I don't know them.
All right, let's have a look here at the tail of the tape for bout number 2.
I'm just going through them bullshit.
Here we go, Larone Whyte, 33 years old, 6 years older than Jose Gutierrez Bolanos. Pretty close in terms of height. Reach, Whyte has a 4-inch reach advantage. Bolanos is an orthodox fighter. Larone Whyte is a switch hitter. He hits from the left side and hits from the right side. He works with the orthodox and southpaw, and he can do it either way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for 6 rounds or less in the super welterweight division and is brought to you by Red Owl Boxing. Our judges score in the bout from ringside: Jasper Kujavsky, Jeremy Hayes, and Jim Monkelbaum. And once the action begins, the referee, Dave Dunbar. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing the Mexican colors, his official weight, 153.5 pounds. He enters the ring with a record of 2 wins against 6 defeats, hailing from Mexico City, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jose Tacho Bolanos. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner and wearing white. His official weight, 152.5 pounds. He enters the ring tonight with a record of 6 wins against 5 defeats, 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Mississauga, Ontario. A warm welcome, please, for Lerone Whyte.
Larone Whyte.
Gentlemen, we went through the rules earlier in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. Belt line is here, belt line is here. There or above will be considered good blows. Any questions from the corners? Touch gloves now, gentlemen. Come out at the bell. Good luck to you both.
Referee Dave Dunbar, the 3rd man in the ring tonight.
The judges for this contest is Jasper Kujavsky, Jeremy Hayes, and Jim Monkelbaum.
Larone steps up with a beautiful jab and pumping the pace early against Jose Bolanos.
These fighters have a little more experience. We're moving up to 6 rounds now. Larone, White Lion Whyte with the white trunks.
In between me and you fellas, I was a little surprised when I seen that Lerone record has 6 wins and 5 losses. I knew him back in the days when I was training. He had so much skill and so much talent. The rumor that, or the version of I heard, he took some rough fights overseas and on the road and stuff like that, and it's tough to get a decision, but make no mistake about it, Larone Whyte that I know is a very, very skilled boxer from the Huff Gym originally. Now he's training with his cousin, Roger Goldenkargan, who is also a professional boxer back in his day.
But also don't forget that in 6 fights, 6 wins, he has 5 knockouts. So he definitely got dynamite in his hands.
Yeah, you mentioned that he was rushed a little bit. You know, he's 3-0 at one time, and he fought a guy named Samika Mullins. Mullins had 27 fights. He had fought for the WBC silver title. I mean, the guy was rushed. I mean, he was rushed. And you know, there's a couple of controversial decisions in there. There was the one stoppage, but his trainer says, you know, that was stopped a little bit early. Now training out of Oakville Boxing and Functional Training, as you mentioned, Steve, Roger Cargill. He said he's been teaching Larone a new style, switching and punching at the same time.
I'm not a very big fan of switching and punching at the same time, because that's how you can get knocked out, by switching when you're trying to, or when you try to switch while you're in the middle of the punch. That's when a lot of guys can get dropped. But he has switched several times here early in the first round. And like I said, Larone is a very, very good boxer. He got caught with an overhand right there, but he's a very good boxer. You see those nice little shoulder rolls inside in there. He's naturally a gifted fighter, but I mean, we'll see if the heart of Jose Bolanos will be too much for the skill of Larone Whyte.
Yeah. Definitely got to stay out of the way of those overhand rights. Bolanos is looking for that overhand right. He's going to the body first, and then he's coming up top to the head. He just tried it there a while ago.
Just landed the right to the head. Tacho, by the way, in Spanish means fast.
Well, it should mean powerful, because the best thing about Jose Bolanos so far here in this first round is the power of his shots that you can hear.
Yes.
You can see it. There's some oomph on those punches.
And that's what Larone Whyte's got to do. I mean, when you're against a tough Mexican who bangs as hard as Jose Bolanos, you just got to box from the outside, keep popping that jab, use those angles, spin them. Just don't stand in front of him after you land a combination.
Wait for the openings.
And he lands a big right hand there, Bolanos, that caught Larone Whyte right on the chin.
Opening round, what are your thoughts, Francis?
Definitely Larone Whyte came out boxing with effort. He came out wanting to do something, but Bolanos definitely stood right in front of him and said, we're going to have a fight tonight. Tonight's going to be a fight. If you want it, you're going to have to dig deep for it.
All right, here's some of the action from that first round.
When Larone's boxing the outside, landing good body shots, a nice hook like he did there, that's good work for Whyte. But when he stands in close and gives Bolanos a chance to hit him, that's going to be detrimental to Larone Whyte's game plan here tonight.
You know, Bolanos came in at one point about 1.5 pounds over this morning at the weigh-in. He had to cut 2 pounds in the allotted time. I asked him how he managed to do it. He says, well, you know, I was shadow boxing in the sauna for about half an hour, dropped the 2 pounds and made weight. And here we go. We got a
good right uppercut to start for Bolanos. Bolanos is the one coming out aggressive this round. Yeah. He knew he landed that hard right hand that shook Larone Whyte at the end of that first round, and Bolanos feels it. He's been coming out strong here in this first opening round.
So now he's hunting. Bolanos is on the hunt. Larone has to back him up with something. Good combination there from Larone.
You hear the coach of Larone Whyte telling their man Larone Whyte to box and move, and that's exactly correct. That's what he's got to do, is box and move, because Jose Bolanos has some power behind those punches, and we've seen that at the end of the first round, and we don't want it to happen again if you're in the corner of Larone Whyte.
Yeah, Roger Cargill was telling me that he's been working on a lot of different moves with Larone. including the shoulder roll, the shell move, the
Right now it seems like Bolanos has
style.
forced Lerone Whyte to fight his fight style tonight.
Right.
It's up to him to change it.
Larone's not switching back at southpaw. He's not boxing. He's not moving. He's standing there right in front of him. And you hear the corner call for the shoulder roll, but it's those angles that are going to make the difference in the fight.
There's a good body shot.
But it just can't be one punch at a time, Joe. It's
No.
got to be 3 and 4 because one punch isn't going to affect Jose Bolanos at all. He's a very tough man. It's going to be the 3s and 4s and the accumulation, just like with Tristan Brookes, they'll make the difference in this fight.
Nice uppercut inside by Whyte.
Got to go back to pumping the jab. Lerone Whyte has to go back to pumping the jab.
A wild right miss by Whyte. Combination inside, looked a little bit low, but an uppercut comes back by Bolanos.
Bolanos is just stalking Lerone Whyte. And the volume of Lerone Whyte compared to the first round, we knew he came out blazing. He hasn't thrown a whole lot of punches this round, so I really think the effect of that big right hand from Jose Bolanos at the end of the first round really shook Lerone Whyte to where he's, almost a little timid to let his hands go.
A little gun shy, yeah.
He earned his respect.
Definitely.
With the good defensive skills, the shoulder rolls that his coach Ricardo was talking about earlier. Like I said, Lerone Whyte does have the whole package. It's what he's going to execute here tonight that matters. As we enter the second round, Francis, how do you have it after the first two?
Right now I have it pretty much even. I had the first round to Lerone Whyte. The second round, definitely Bolanos came out with a little bit more aggressiveness. He definitely dictated the pace. He pushed Lerone to fight his fight style. As you said, he wasn't switching back and forth like he was. He's standing in front of him, and you never want to do that against a power puncher.
Absolutely, Francis, that's a great analogy. If you're fighting a southpaw versus an orthodox, or anyone in any sort of fight that's this sort of style, we have a tough Mexican like Jose Bolanos against a slick, shoulder-rolling, Mayweather-style Lerone Whyte. You don't want to stand there or lean on the ropes and let this guy whack away, because that's what he does in the gym 365 days a year in Mexico. He stands there and go to war. He knows how to go to war. It's the boxing that's going to give him the problem and get the victory for Lerone Whyte.
100%.
There's a shot of the crowd here at the Owl's Nest. It's a good crowd, isn't it? Jam-packed. There's not a seat empty in the house. Beautiful spot. 1,000 seats here, and they're enjoying some great action so far. Here we are, round 3, scheduled for 6 in the super welterweight division.
And a couple of straight, nice left hands underneath the jab of Jose Bolanos. Lerone landing a couple nice left hands.
There you go, throw. Like that. Yeah, there you go. Circle.
Lerone Whyte got to definitely get back on the lateral movement, moving east to west. That's going to get out of the big punches of Bolanos.
And moving and boxing from the outside, that's what Lerone needs to do to win this fight. Sure, he's not getting hurt and he can do the shoulder roll and move away from shots on the inside, but it's giving Jose Bolanos an opportunity. An opportunity that he doesn't have to be given if Lerone Whyte wants to make this an easy fight by standing on the outside and boxing. But when he stands there and does the shoulder roll, it's letting Bolanos break him down, beat him down, and possibly an opening for a fight-ending shot.
Yep.
Right, and he's not being first. He's waiting, right? He's doing a lot of waiting, and he needs to be more busier. Center of the ring's a good spot for him, though. You can see Bolanos has that power, so. Roger Cargill's asking him to circle.
And he does, but he's got to be careful that he doesn't circle into the right hand, because at the moment he's circling right into the right hand, and shot for shot, Jose Bolanos has got the knockout shot.
Right, you don't want to be trading with this guy.
Blood is not coming from the nose of Lerone Whyte.
There's a good right hand by Bolanos, right on the button.
Get out that corner.
Oh, this is good. Good two-punch combination by Whyte.
But then he stands there, Joe, and that's his biggest problem. He throws a beautiful combination.
He stands there and
makes
waits.
one step to the side, and then lets the guy throw back. I mean, you got to move, box clean, show these judges that you're not getting hit, you're landing clean punches and boxing. But when you stand there and trade, it's a tough fight to score.
Like, this is the fight that Larone does not want to fight tonight.
And it's the fight that Jose Bolanos does want tonight.
So you're thinking he should be 1-2 out, 1-2 out.
1, 2, 3, 4 out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out, but he just can't stand there like he did there and get hit with a big right hand after landing some shots. Because believe me when I tell you, boys, Jose Bolanos has got enough for 6 rounds in the tank.
This is what we call the bull and the matador. Tonight,
right.
Larone Whyte has to be the matador against the bull, Bolanos.
You know, you talk about these Mexican fighters. There's the end of round number 3. You talk about these Mexican fighters. They, you know, back home in the gym, they got to fight to just get a chance to fight.
Listen, I was down there sparring with Eric Morales before in Tijuana. It is such a night and day compared to the gyms here in Ontario. I mean, you literally got to fight to survive, fight to be allowed in the gym, and fight for those good rounds with Eric Morales. As we take a closer look at some work from the outside from Larone Whyte. When he throws that left hand and rolls out like that, that's when he's boxing beautifully. As I mentioned earlier, on the outside, he's looking beautiful. You just got to just stay moving on those feet and keep those angles to keep the power and strength of Jose Bolanos off him, as we have 3 rounds left in this fight.
Hey, champ, just like what you said, he has to continue to spin. Like a matador, he got to continue to spin Bolanos. That's the only way he's going to get out of the power punches and land his shots while on the move.
As we head into round 4.
Scheduled for 6. Super middleweights. Jose Bolanos from Mexico City. And Larone White Line Whyte.
Yeah, there it is. See? There you go. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Use your feet.
And that's exactly what he's got to do from the southpaw stance. Keep boxing and moving to the right just like that. That's going to make for the easiest tonight for Larone Whyte when he's in the southpaw stance, to keep jabbing and moving.
And staying away from the right hand.
But you see the aggression come when Larone Whyte goes back to orthodox. Jose Bolanos instantly steps forward and lands a big overhand right.
How do you feel about him clenching when he comes against the ropes? Just to get the referee to break it up and get back to the middle of the ring.
Oh, that's good for Larone, but you don't want to stand there and trade or try those silly shoulder rolls, because if you're off by a millisecond, it could be night-night time.
We've seen Bolanos land some pretty heavy shots in this fight. You don't want to be trading with this guy.
And one of the big things, Francis, I feel is that at this point of the fight, that nothing really threatening with one shot is going to keep Jose Bolanos off him. He's free to walk forward because Larone Whyte doesn't have that one shot power to stop him dead in his tracks.
You saw that real slick move, you know, to his right by Whyte, but he didn't throw anything.
He got to be busier right now. He's choosing one shots. He got to throw multiple punches at this time while he's moving.
He makes Bolanos miss, but then he doesn't counter. He doesn't make it pay. There's a good left hand. Now he switches. Two shots just missing by Bolanos. Another one just missing. Oh, and a very good right hand. Oh, good combination. That's what you need to see, right?
Gotta get off the ropes. Get off the ropes.
Good body shot by Bolanos, and a follow up by your nice right hand.
Short uppercut on the inside by Bolanos. What a great, hey, with 10 seconds left in the round, Francis and Joe, we got to give credit to Red Owl. You know, I mean, this is another very competitive fight. Both guys standing there, putting it all on the line. This is what boxing in the province needs.
Right, terrific matchmaking here tonight so far. All right, end of round 4. Let's have a look at the scorecard, Francis. What are you seeing?
Definitely right now I got Bolanos up 3 rounds to 1 based on the fact that Lerone came out the first round. He wanted to establish his jab and his movement. Bolanos in round 2, 3, and 4 decided that we're going to fight on the inside. Either on the ropes or in the middle of the ring is how we're going to fight. But I must say in that 4th round, Lerone was able to turn it around. He started to move laterally. He started to stay off the ropes, not as much as he did the round before, and was able to have some success.
All right, Steven, do you concur with that observation?
I mean, it's a tough one to score. I mean, you also got to take in the fact that Lerone is the hometown guy. They were close rounds, but I definitely feel this is a very, very even fight, and it's going to be up to these 2 last rounds to decide the winner.
All right. Round 5 scheduled for 6. Dave Dunbar calls him back to the center of the ring. Here we go. Super welterweights. Ron Whyte in the white trunks. Jose Bolanos with the Mexican colors.
A nice straight left hand down to the body for Whyte.
Good check hook right there from Whyte.
And those are the angles that Whyte needs to be taken because it doesn't give Bolanos a chance to catch his shot and come back with something bigger.
There's a left, right, left. There's 2 combinations back to back by Whyte. There's another real good uppercut stun by Ioannis.
And those bleeding profusely from Lerone Whyte.
Yeah.
Right.
As Jose Bolanos just stalks him. And as I mentioned earlier, Francis, it's just the power that Bolanos doesn't respect enough that he feels that he knows he can just walk forward and keep coming forward with no serious threat.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. Lerone Whyte putting something on Bolanos to back him up a little bit. Usually that comes with the jab, champ.
Jab and 3s and 4s. You mean you can't look for one shot. You mean you got to throw 3, 4, 5, 6, just like he did there.
Right
he started down low and worked his way up, and it pushed Bolanos back and stopped him in his tracks.
For the first time in the fight, he had Bolanos backing up. There's a good right hand by Bolanos. Oh, nice right hand, lead right hand.
It's been a good round so far for Lerone Whyte. He's landed a few nice right hands.
Yep. He's definitely making Bolanos a little gun shy this round. He hasn't been throwing as much.
And a beautiful left hook to the body by Bolanos. Whether or not this is the fight that Lerone should be fighting, guys, we got blood all over our scorecards, all over the table here.
That's a
and
good
it's
sign.
been a very good, entertaining fight, especially the past 2 rounds as they stood toe-to-toe.
Yeah, blood on the scorecard is a good indicator that we're seeing some good action here.
I didn't hear that.
Final 20 seconds now of round 5, scheduled for 6. Was a good left hand by Ioannis. All right, 5 rounds in the books. And it's a pretty close fight. Let's have a look now at some of the action from that 5th round.
That was a lot better round, Joe, for Lerone Whyte. He boxed a lot more. He threw some beautiful straight right hands underneath the right hand of Bolanos. And the only time Bolanos got any sort of momentum going is when Lerone Whyte stood in front of him and let Jose Bolanos throw shots. Whether they're landing clean or not, it's still slowly breaking you down and adding points to the scorecard. And another tough round to score for the officials here tonight.
Definitely, and that was definitely a round where Lerone, tried to show, this is how I want to fight. This is how I want to end the fight. Same way I started it is how I want to end it. He started to move laterally. He started to circle Bolanos. I'm excited. You
saw the corner of Lerone Whyte. What are they telling him right now, Steve?
I mean, he's just got to box. He's got to box on the outside. He can't give Jose Bolanos any sort of chance to steal this round or to possibly get a knockdown. He's got to throw his shots, move and step to the side, and not give Bolanos a chance to start getting his hand, letting his hands go.
You can see some puffiness around the eyes of Jose Bolanos. It's been a pretty good fight here.
And that's from the accumulation of Lerone Whyte, especially in the first round when he's throwing 4s and 5s. And the past couple rounds he started throwing some nice combos as well.
Oh, and a left hook.
Big left hook. And Jose Bolanos landed a vicious right hand to the midsection of Lerone Whyte.
And there was Whyte, on the ropes, is right where Bolanos wants him. Bolanos was really going for it here.
And believe me, he's got the power to finish this, so Lerone Whyte better have his defense in check.
Big right hand. Here we are. It's a big round. Final,
that hurt
right
him.
hand rocked him.
Lerone Whyte is hurt.
That straight right.
And best believe Jose Bolanos is all over him. He's got to survive this storm. And another big right hand.
He's got 1:15 to go here in round 6. Can he weather this storm?
He's got to keep that defense in check.
Keep them hands up.
He's got 1 minute left. And Jose Bolanos has got to go for broke. I mean, he's already won this round. There's no real physical threat at this point coming from Lerone Whyte.
Well, he can't expect to come.
Oh, he landed a beautiful right hand. Had he did the push back overhand right over top. And credit to Lerone Whyte because that was a full power right hand.
So he got hard
from Jose Bolanos.
At this stage, if you're Bolanos, you don't want to leave it in the judges' hands. You want to make sure you can get out of here with a W, and the only way to do that, to make sure of that, is to end it right here. But Whyte has come back nicely here.
As we head into the final 10 seconds, both men stand and trade. What a fight!
Wow, that was good. That was a heck of a finish.
Well, Francis, I'd hate to be in your shoes calling that, but let alone the official scorecard. How do you have it after 6, buddy?
Well, let's take a look at some of the action back here from that last round before we go to the Francis' scorecard. Okay,
that was an action-packed 6th round. Lerone Whyte started off beautiful with that right hand, right hook, left hook to the body. As the round progressed, though, he slowly got pulled into standing toe-to-toe with Jose Bolanos, but he stood shot for shot. He didn't wobble, he didn't wilt, he didn't break. He showed a lot of heart, and he had this crowd standing on their feet. And another sold-out event here at the Owl's Nest in Brampton, Ontario.
All right, let's go to your scorecard, Francis. How do you see it?
Definitely a tough fight. The final round started off good for Lerone Whyte. He got hit with a big shot, but like a true champ, he was able to bounce back, and I got Lerone Whyte taking his fight 58-56 on my unofficial scorecard.
The unofficial scorecard. It was a good one. We see Bolanos had his moments, that's for sure.
Right there.
All right, let's go to the official decision with David Neiman. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a big round of applause for 6 rounds of back and forth action between these two fighters.
Yes, indeed.
And we go to the scorecards. Jasper Kujaski, Jeremy Hayes, and Jim Monkelbaum all see the bout identically. 57-57. This bout is a draw.
All three judges had it 57-57. How did you see that, Steve?
Like I said, Joe, that was a tough one to call.
Fight,
I felt
yeah.
bad to be in Francis's shoes, let alone the official scorecard shoes. I'm okay with the draw. That was a great fight. I'd love to run it back and get an official winner if they were to do it again.
Yeah, you know what? That was. I think both of these fighters would probably be happy with that decision too. I mean, you know, Bolanos might have thought that he landed some power shots that were bigger, but you know, no question about it. Lerone Whyte was superior boxer in this fight.
He definitely came out, showed that he wanted to do his boxing. Bolanos, you got to give him a lot of credit. He came in here tonight in a hostile environment, and he definitely performed, man. He didn't worry about what Lerone was doing. He decided that this is how I want to fight tonight, doghouse style. Phone booth, he did it, but Lerone was able, at the end of the fight, to just change it around and come out.
All right, let's see what Lerone had to say about it. Here's George Nasios with Lerone Whyte. Having some microphone problems here, George? All right, here we go. Microphone problem corrected. Here we go.
Guys, we're here with Lerone. First, give it up. That was an amazing 6 rounds of action right there. Give it up for Lerone and Jose.
Yes, indeed.
What do you make of the fight? That was a battle, man.
Honestly, it was a good war. I felt like I did enough to win, but I was a little rusty. He landed a little 1-2 shots, but I feel like I landed the better, harder shots. But it is what it is. I should have went to the body a little bit more. I tried to stay toe-to-toe a little bit and catch him with the overhand. But all it is for me was just to throw a little bit more shots on the inside.
Yeah, what did you think at the beginning? It seemed like you had the first round there. Did he pick it up in the second or third rounds?
Honestly, it was all me. I was just trying to slow it down and just look for the clean shots, which I should have just kept boxing, listening to my coach, stepping around and just using the jab. I abandoned my jab sometimes, and I was just trying to line them up with big shots.
So you think maybe you didn't execute your plan exactly how you wanted?
That's exactly it, but you know what? I give it up to him. It was a good work, and trust me, next time we do it, he's going down.
Oh, thanks for a great fight, Lerone. Give it up for Lerone, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Red Owl. Thanks to the zone. Next time you see me, it's going to be a good war. Don't worry. Every time I'm out, it's a war.
Thanks, man.
You know, next time out, he says we're going to see a better Lerone Whyte. His trainer now, Roger Cargill, from the Golden Lion, he's worked, you know, he's sparred with Lennox Lewis, he's sparred with Chris Bird, he's sparred with Evander Holyfield. He's got a thriving gym in Oakville. He's done and he's doing a good job here with Lerone Whyte as his new trainer. I think Lerone Whyte is headed in the right direction. He could have done more to win that fight perhaps, but you know, he settles for a draw, and as he says, next time you'll see a better version of Lerone Whyte. All right, later on in this fight card tonight, we're going to see and hear from a few other great young fighters. We got a guy named Ioannis Birmpilis, Johnny the Greek from Larissa, Greece originally. Now fighting, he fought out of Toronto for 3 years. Now he's fighting out of Miami. Let's hear from Johnny the Greek.
Johnny's had a lifelong dream to be very successful in this sport, and he works very hard. He's a hard worker. He puts in 150% every time. When you watch Johnny, you're going to watch somebody who really cares about his craft and who really is going to give everything. And what makes it a great fight is he's fighting Jose Marufo, and Jose Marufo, he's just an Energizer bunny that just keeps going. He's not going to back down. He's coming to fight. He's coming forward. He's going to be a real test for Johnny. I think Johnny's ready for this test. That fight's going to be a great fight, too, to watch. We're excited to watch that fight. And Jose Marufo, the style that he has and the way that Johnny fights, you know, I think it's going to be a very entertaining bout.
Johnny the Greek, he's 8-1 with 4 knockouts. We're going to see him later on tonight. Looking forward to that. Your thoughts on Johnny, Steve?
He brings a lot of energy to the room. He has that Greek power and that Greek adrenaline, and he brings a lot. He puts a lot in the gym as well. You can see he has a great physique for a young man. He puts in the work in the gym, and when that bell rings, he comes out blazing.
One thing I love about it is, you said it earlier, the fact that he took his talents to the U.S., up in his training, up in the level. You said you went to Eric Morales' gym, and when you fought, you seen exactly the type of level of skill you must have. He went all the way to California and Miami, and now he's back to show the type of work that he put in over those 3 years.
Well, you talk about it. He's now training with Javier Centeno. Okay, let's talk about Javier Centeno. Coaches Xander Zayas, who was ESPN's Prospect of the Year, also trains George Kambosos Jr. So the guy knows what he's doing. So having that guy in your corner, working with that guy, it's going to help. It's got to help the.
That sort of experience in your team it's going to help you leaps and bounds move forward in this game. Like I said, like Francis touched on earlier, I was fortunate enough to be in a training camp with Eric Morales for 3 weeks in Tijuana. But to have a guy like that with you full time, who's been at that level, even though it's only as a coach, it brings so much more to your team and to your future. So big things for Johnny the Greek.
Really looking forward to seeing what Johnny the Greek can do tonight.
One final thing I got to share with you guys is that Johnny the Greek, having gone to the U.S., worked on the skill set. He was training alongside George Kambosos Jr. when he was training for his undisputed bout. And Xander Zayas. You can't pay for that type of experience. You training for an undisputed bout and you get to train alongside him. Let's see how it looks tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait for that one. All right, coming up next, we've got Mathusen Mahindas, the Tiger. Let's hear about Mathusen.
Mathusen is from our backyard in Scarborough, Ontario. He's a very promising, talented fighter, and we're excited to have him. His heritage is Tamil heritage. Well, and there's a lot of people from that culture, South Asian culture, in the city of Scarborough. So if he succeeds and he does well, he's got a lot of fans right in our backyard that will support him. So we're looking forward to seeing him fight. Last time he put on a great show here. He had an incredible performance, and we're looking forward to the same.
Yes, Mathusen Mahindas, 26 years old, been boxing for 10 years, undefeated 3-0, got a KO under his belt. Here is David Neiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here at the Owl's Nest. Now making his way down to the ring, please welcome Jorge Reyes.
Jorge Alberto Garcia Reyes.
Me gusta el boxeo desde muy niño porque papá fue el que me inculcó este deporte. Él también fue boxeador. Mis tíos también, toda mi familia fueron boxeadores, entonces por lo mismo desde yo muy pequeño me empezaron a llevar que al gimnasio, a entrenar, y actualmente pues ya me gusta, ya lo practico de manera profesional. No puedo decir si la voy a ganar, si la voy a perder. Sí voy a dar una muy buena pelea, quiero ganar la pelea, voy dispuesto a ganar la pelea. Voy fuerte, tengo una buena preparación, tuve una buena preparación para esta pelea y pues voy con todo, vamos a ganar.
And now about to make his way down to the ring, please welcome Mathusen Mahindas.
No introduction here at the Owl's Nest for Mathusen Mahindas.
Mathusen Mahindas. The Tiger.
I want to put on a good performance in front of the Tamil community. I'm probably going to be able to showcase what I've been hiding. They can expect to see an exciting fighter who's extremely technical, who breaks fighters down. I'm the type of fighter that does what's necessary in the ring. If I need to come out and bang, I'll come out and bang. If I need to sit back and box, I'll sit back and box.
Especially fighting for your hometown crowd.
This is the best shape I've ever been in my entire life, and I'm definitely going to predict myself winning by devastating fashion.
All right, let's have a look now at the tail
Ladies
of the
and
tape.
gentlemen, Red Owl Boxing proudly presents 4 rounds or less in the lightweight division. Our judges scoring this bout at ringside: Alan Davis, Jasper Kujavsky, and Jim Monkelbaum. And once the action begins, the referee in charge, Donovan Boucher. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing white trimmed with gold, his official weight, 134.5 pounds. He enters the ring with a record of 2 wins against 6 defeats, 1 draw, hailing from Mexico City, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jorge El Campeón Reyes. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner and tonight wearing all white. His official weight, 135 pounds even. He is undefeated thus far in his campaign in the ring with 3 wins against no defeats. 1 win coming by way of knockout. Hailing from and representing Scarborough, Ontario, here is Mathusen Tiger Mahindas.
Mathusen Mahindas, the Tiger.
Okay, gentlemen, I give you the pre-fight instructions in the changing room. Listen to my command at all times. Most importantly, protect yourself at all times. Touch glove. Good luck to both of you.
Third man in the ring, former Canadian and Commonwealth welterweight champion, the one and only Donovan Butch Boucher. One of my favorite referees here in the province, boys, that's for sure. He's been doing a lot of work with the WBC, gaining that experience, getting that knowledge, climbing the ranks, just like he did as a fighter.
Yep. Terrific fighter and a great referee. Alan Davis, Jasper Kujavsky, and Jim Monkelbaum are the judges at ringside. Here for our third bout of the evening. Bout number 3 is 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Jorge Alberto Reyes, El Campeón, which means champion, of course, from Mexico City. He's 22 years old, wearing the white with gold trim. Ask him who he fights for. He says, I fight for myself. He's coming off a draw last time out in September against a guy who was 6-1. He's only been stopped once. Mathusen, the Tiger Mahindas from Scarborough, 26 years old, 3-0. Been boxing for 10 years, got into boxing because, you know, he wanted to have a one-on-one sport. Doesn't want to rely on anybody else in there. And wears the white trunks because, you know what, he had a lot of amateur success wearing the white trunks, so why not?
Well, just like the other 2 guys who fought earlier, against these tough, rough Mexicans, the best thing for Mathusen is going to be to box on the outside. He's got those fast hands. He's got that good movement and that long reach. That's what's going to be beneficial for him, is to use that reach and speed against a tough Jorge Reyes. Though he's only 2-6, I'm sure those were tough 8 fights across the border. And he's a young 22-year-old looking to make a name for himself here.
Definitely coached by Coach Horace Hunter, working on him, keeping that distance. How do you feel about Mathusen tonight, keeping that distance, keeping him at the end of his punches, just like that?
Good right hand.
And that's going to be key for him because it takes away anything that Jorge Reyes has to offer, because Jorge Reyes isn't throwing nice, straight, crisp shots. So that's going to be the difference in when they use their reach and distance and throwing those straight punches. Mathusen's going to have a big advantage as long as he sticks to the game plan.
Yep.
Unlike the first 2 Mexican fighters we've seen here, yes, Jorge Alberto Reyes doesn't seem to have that kind of snap and pop in his punches that the other 2 Mexican fighters we've seen.
He doesn't, but he's looking for accumulation, and it's going to be the fast, long, hard shots from Mathusen that's going to keep Jorge Reyes at bay.
Yeah. About 30 seconds left in round number 1.
Right to the body lands for Mahindas. And that brings round 1 to an end. in this lightweight contest. Here's some of the action from the opening round.
Mathusen used that big, that long jab. It really keeps Jorge Reyes at bay, and that's going to be a key factor in this fight to keep Jorge Reyes at the end of Mathusen's long, beautiful jab.
We saw him land a couple of nice right hands in that round.
I think if he's able to keep it at distance, he won't smother his punches. He can really get the snap on the end of his punches if he keeps that distance. But if he keeps falling in, you know, he's susceptible to maybe an uppercut.
An uppercut or a counter awkward right hand by Reyes. But as long as he's throwing that nice, crisp jab, it's going to set the tone offensively and defensively for Mathusen Mahindas.
Everything works off the jab, eh, Steve?
It's the #1 punch in boxing, baby.
Yes, it is. Like the great Floyd Mayweather says, a jab will take you around the world, a right hand just around the block.
All right, round 2 scheduled for 4. We mentioned earlier that Mahindas trains with Horace Hunter over at Gideon Boxing Academy. Sponsored tonight by Power Staffing Solutions. He asked me to please throw that in. All right. And Mathusen says he likes to emulate Andre Ward. He'd like to see have some Andre Ward success.
Reyes is definitely wanting to make this fight ugly. He doesn't want to make it pretty. He wants it to be an ugly fight. It's up to Mathusen to keep that distance and keep him on the end of the jab.
Put the punches together.
Do you see any Andre Ward here?
Not so much in his speed and reaction, but that'll come with experience. An Olympic gold medalist and multiple weight world champion, Andre Ward. That's a tough comparison for a guy as green.
With 3 fights, yeah.
But right now, I want to see Mathusen take some air out them tires. Go to the body a little bit more. Go to the body and release some of the airs out of them tires of Reyes.
Don't step in.
It'll make for a lot easier night if he does so.
Don't step at it. Just fire.
You can see some blood coming out of the nose now of Jorge Alberto Reyes.
Keep using the stick. Keep using the stick in his face.
Sticking that jab in his face, that's it.
Double them up. Double them up.
There's a left-right combination. The uppercut just misses and the left hand lands.
You see, and this is where Mathusen Mahindas does not want the fight.
Yep.
He does not want it to get ugly with Jorge Reyes because, like I mentioned earlier, fellas, ugly is what they do in Mexico in those gyms, sparring those big wars and stuff like that. Mathusen Mahindas has to box from the outside and not make this an ugly fight because that plays right into Jorge Reyes' hand.
Reyes just complaining about getting hit low. He said that he told the referee and he told Mahindas, yeah, you hit me low. I didn't see that.
There's that roughhousing we were talking about.
Yeah.
He got to.
And no, Mahindas turns to referee Donovan Boucher.
Because this is natural for Jorge Reyes. This is what he's been doing for the past 6 months, 8 years, however long he's been boxing. But this is new to Mathusen Mahindas, as our rules in gyms are a lot more stricter and respectable when it comes to sparring and getting that sort of work in.
100%. He got a very good, Mahindas got a very good 1-2. He got to stick behind that 1-2. If he can keep the distance, shoot that 1-2.
Step back and fire. Fire.
And Reyes, as you mentioned, this guy comes from the fighting family. He's all about boxing. He lives, sleeps, eats, drinks boxing from the time he's a young man, and he's.
And again, Mahindas gets hit with unnecessary shots after he threw a couple nice long shots. He stood there and let Reyes swing wild and get off.
This guy is a wily fighter. There's no doubt about that. Okay. Well, Francis, let's go to your scorecard. How are you seeing it?
It's definitely a close fight so far. I do have Mahindas up on this card 2 rounds so far. I believe that he's doing enough, to keep the roughhousing at a minimum. But it seems that the momentum is swinging. Maybe out of the corner, Horace Hunter can give him some instructions that will keep him keeping the distance with the jab and the 1-2.
I couldn't agree with you more, Francis. When Mathusen Mahindas is boxing the outside, Jorge Reyes doesn't really know what to do. It's only when Mathusen wants to stand there and let him get close and hold is that he starts throwing those wild winging shots. And that will be the difference in this fight, if Mathusen Mahindas can use those long shots and keep Jorge Reyes on the outside.
100%.
Round 3 scheduled for 4, and of course, Reyes will continue to do what he's been doing and try to get him into an ugly war. A left-right combination, and he slips away.
Mathusen,
push away.
Mahindas is in a very special position, being a Tamil fighter. Tamil boxing isn't so big, so he's one of only a few to be out here doing it right now. So he's putting his country on the map when it comes to boxing.
Yeah, the Tamil community showing a lot of support for Mathusen.
Yeah.
Step back, don't step in. Step back, yes.
And you hear Horace Hunter, the coach of Mathusen Mahindas, telling him to step back because he needs that distance to land those clean shots. He's not a brawl type fighter where he's going to fight on the inside and bang it out. He's going to catch you nice and crisp on the outside. So he's got to keep popping that jab.
Yeah. He's also telling him to push off and hit him.
Step back and work.
If you're not used to this type of war, it can be a shock to the system.
It can be, and it can be draining on your arms, your legs, your lungs, but more so your mind. When you got a guy who won't let you go, who's smothering you, pulling down your arms, punching the arms, punching the hip. I mean, these Mexicans are tough dudes, and they know they're here to fight. They're not here to box and look classy. They're here to fight. So Mathusen Mahindas has got to stay on the outside and box from the outside.
Good uppercut on the inside right there. A little short uppercut from Mathusen.
Move your head, punch and move.
Good body shot, yeah.
Punch and move.
Just like the champ said, Reyes' only chance is when he's up close and personal with Mahindas.
And step back, he's gonna come.
Uppercut partially blocked by Mahindas.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, how good would a feint be for Mahindas right now? If he was to feint a little bit before the jab to kind of get Reyes to react.
Could it be a helping factor for Mahindas? Absolutely could freeze up Jorge Reyes. We could jump on him, throw one nice two down the middle. But Jorge Reyes is doing what I would think Mahindas needs by just keep coming forward, throwing reckless shots with no really direction. That's a great opportunity for Mathusen Mahindas to step back on that back foot and come back with a hard shot as Jorge Reyes is walking forward.
We saw him do that just a moment ago when he landed 2 jabs and then a right hand. And there's the right hand. Final seconds here. Round 3. Okay, let's have a look at some of the action from that 3rd round.
Like we talked about earlier, gentlemen, when Mathusen Mahindas boxes on the outside, there's nothing Jorge Reyes can do. And Mathusen looks so good and so professional when he's popping out that beautiful long jab, just like he did there, followed by the right hand. That's going to create openings by keeping that jab busy. It's going to create openings offensively for Mahindas, and it's going to really make defense a lot easier for him because Reyes can't get inside or jump in with one shot. He's going to get stuck and hit in the forehead with that jab from Mahindas.
You look at the 2 corners here, and it's clearly Mahindas looks pretty good. I mean, he looks like completely unmarked, and Reyes has got a lot of puffiness and redness in his face.
Something different I'd like to see this round, Joe and Champ. I'd like to see Mahindas take a little half step back, shoot either the uppercut or the hook.
Or even over top. He has that angle over the left hand of Jorge Reyes, because when he steps in, he's dropping it. He can just step out to the right and come right over top of that right hand as Reyes is coming in.
Yep.
But again, this all comes with experience. It's tough to fight an awkward, strong, tough 22-year-old guy like Jorge Reyes and do everything to perfection. These are learning experiences. Yeah. This is a learning fight for him. This is how you grow and become great. I mean, with 3 fights, I wasn't doing everything I should have been doing to get to the level I got to, but these are the stages that you learn and grow. And again, hats off to Gabe and Red Owl for giving all these guys an opportunity to stay busy, get active, and get under those lights and fight on a big network like we're on here tonight.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you get a game plan, you got a fight plan that you go into the ring with, and you hope to execute. But there's a guy standing in front of you who's trying to take your head off. So
and Mahindas being very effective on the outside there, and Jorge Reyes shakes his head. But in the boxing world, we all know that's just a sign of frustration because there's nothing you can do and you have no answers. So again, when Mahindas is on the outside, there's nothing Reyes can do.
Mahindas appears to be in control of this fight here in the 4th round, scheduled for 4.
I'd like to see Mahindas go to the body. Reyes is starting to hold on a little bit now.
Nice right hand there by Mahindas. More blood coming out of the nose now of Reyes. A big right hand just misses by Mahindas.
Champ, you notice when he's shooting the hook, he's getting at the back of the head. That's a half a step. If you take the half a step, he'll connect that hook as Reyes is coming forward.
Whether it be obviously yes with the right hook, Francis, but it could be the right hand or left uppercut, the right hook. He just got to create that space as Jorge Reyes just keeps coming forward and forward with no jab, no offensive threat, just keeps walking forward. Mathusen has got to step back to create that distance, to give him that distance,
walk him
to
onto
make that
something.
power. Yes.
Definitely, walk him onto a shot.
Final 20 seconds here of the fight. Oh, another entertaining contest, gentlemen. Here we go. 3 good fights here so far. Let's have a look at some of the action from that last round.
And as I mentioned earlier, Joe, when Mahindas boxed on the outside, he made it look very easy. The only time that Jorge Reyes looked in the fight, even though he still wasn't in the fight, but he made it look ugly by, throwing weird, awkward shots on the inside. But Mahindas still did, in my opinion, win every round. I just felt it could have made it a lot easier from standing on the outside and popping that jab and catching with the right hand like he did several times in each and every round. So hats off to Mahindas and his team because he did box beautifully in there tonight. There are just a few small adjustments I'd like to see against going against a tough, awkward Mexican like Jorge Reyes.
All right, Francis, let's go to your scorecard. What are you seeing?
Well, definitely after all 4 rounds, I got a unanimous decision from Mathusen, the Tiger Mahindas. Definitely made it a lot tougher than he should have tonight, but he still was able to pull out the victory.
Yeah, we see some of the action here. Clearly, it was he landed some really good shots, and you look at the 2 fighters, and Reyes, El Campeon, is banged up pretty good.
Hey, Champ, I wanted to ask you, do you think with 1 or 2 more of Styles fight like a Reyes is good for Mathusen, or should he go back to what's comfortable to him?
No. To be great, you have to be uncomfortable. You cannot sit in your comfort zone and expect to become great in boxing or any aspect of life. You have to be uncomfortable, and these are the nights that are going to make him a better fighter against tougher opposition who's here to win. He's not the most skilled guy, Reyes, but he did come to fight and win, and it gave Mahindas a lot of opportunity to look good and box well, and that's what he did here tonight.
The 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis, is in the house. Just had to give him a quick shout out. But Champ, definitely you are spot on when it comes to Mathusen. Those are the steps that we have to take, and we're gonna look forward to see if he's gonna make those steps. Now he is fighting a lot of times out east. I'm not sure the competition out east, but
all right, go to David Neiman with the official decision. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Alan Davis, scores about 38-38 even. Whoa. Overruled by Jasper Kujaspi and Jim Monkelbon, who both see the bout identical at 39-37 for your winner. By majority decision, Mahindas.
Well, a little surprised by that decision, guys. You guys, since both of you saw a 4-0 sweep
I
for the
did see
Tiger.
the 4-0 sweep, but you can see how a judge maybe with not the experience or the sharper eye as one of the veterans could see that as a close fight, because when Reyes was on the inside, he made it look tough and ugly in that he was doing something. When Mathusen Mahindas boxed on the outside, there was no doubt who was a better boxer. I just would have liked to see more of it consistently throughout the fight instead of allowing Reyes to lock, hold, and throw those garbage little inside dirty boxing shots.
Right, let's go to George Nasios with Mahindas. Mathusen Mahindas was now
Congrats
4-0.
on the win, Mathusen. 2 judges gave it to you, 1 had it a draw. Did you think you took it outright?
I knew it was a tough fight. It got close because of how close it was, and it was like a little bit of a barroom fight. But like I thought in those exchanges, like I wasn't getting caught, so I think I won the fight. But it was definitely a tough fight. I knew it was going to be a tough fight coming in. Anybody you fight from Mexico, you could definitely expect a tough fight. So.
Yes.
I was going to ask you about that. It was really an inside fight. A lot of grappling, clenching, a little wrestling. Was that the plan, or is just that the way it kind of happened? And how did you handle it?
That's just the way it ended up happening. I think it was on me. Like I should have been able to dispel it, but that's something I'm going to go back to the gym and work on. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a couple days off, take like 2 days off, and you already know I'm back training. So, and I'm going to fix that for next fight.
Now, all the Toronto area fighters get love here. Seems like you get a little more from this crowd, though. Does it?
Yeah.
Does this crowd spur you on? Does it give you that extra adrenaline, or what?
For sure. The crowd, I love this crowd. You know, it's a lot of my hometown. I brought all of Scarborough down here to Brampton, so, so you know, I had to get it done.
One more for you. Your first year as a pro fighter. Your 4th fight, you're 4-0. Quite a bit of activity. What's the plan going forward? What do you want to achieve next year?
Next year, I want to step up the rounds and maybe towards the end of the year get a Canadian title, a super featherweight Canadian title. That's the first step.
Congrats on a great win, Mathusen.
Thank you. Oh, I also wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I wanted to thank my coaches, Horace, my corner, Melinda, Chris Hope for helping me. I wanted to thank Coach Ignacio. I'm not sure if he made it out tonight, but I wanted to thank him as well. I wanted to thank Red Owl for giving me a platform and being able to fight on DAZN. And I wanted to thank Power Staffing Solutions for helping me out with all my fights. And I can't, you just see me in the ring, but there's a whole team of people behind me. So I'm grateful for everybody. Thank you.
Congrats again, Mathusen Mahindas.
All right, he got that plug in for Power Solutions. Mathusen Mahindas now 4-0. Said he wants to be a Canadian champion within the next year. Steve, you think that's doable?
Anything's possible. Anybody with 2 hands and a heartbeat can do anything. I mean, if you make the right fights up until that point, but he's got a lot of building and growing to do to step up to the elite class, and that should be his main focus, is getting to that level, working on things, growing on things, and that will happen with a guy like Horace Hunter. Horace has been around the game for a long, long time, and he knows the game. I know they'll look back in this fight, see the mistakes, see why the judge may have possibly scored this a draw, even though in my heart I thought it was a clear victory for Mahindas. But using that long reach to his advantage, especially in the lighter weight classes where you have to use those things to your advantage. He's not a big puncher. He's got to use those feet and use those boxing skills, and God's gift, the reach that he has, can make these fights easier for him.
Just speaking a little bit on Mathusen, I think that he definitely can become a Canadian champion in the year. Right now, the Canadian titles are up for grabs. It's just the right opponent for him. A few more fights, he definitely get that within the year. But also, he's building that tremendous fan base with the Tamil community, having one of their own supporting. There's nothing like it. He's gonna sell out arenas for years to come. Remember, I told you that.
Well, it sure sounded like half of Scarborough's here tonight. Mathusen Mahindas has a big following, as you mentioned, the Tamil community. But just, he's the pride of Scarborough right now, no doubt about that.
And he boxed well tonight. He got the W, and he's going to continue to grow and be a great fighter. And again, hats off to Gabe Fenus and his team here at Red Owl. The new addition, the more seats, you can really feel the energy in this place buzzing. And this is going to be a home for many, many great champions in the future to come. Zol Durrani being their home fighter. Looking forward to him move forward with his career and become a future world champion.
Speaking of great champions, had a chance to talk to the undisputed earlier.
Red Owl Boxing is, me and them have a great relationship. We want to do the best thing for boxers in Ontario and in Canada and help them develop and bring them along, allow them to have a stage to box from, and this is their stage, is Red Owl right now. I want to do the right thing, they want to do the right thing, and together we're going to do the right thing. I see them doing the right thing, as in wanting to develop young fighters, wanting to help young people get off the street and have some place to go, whether it's basketball, whether it's boxing, but at least they have an outlet.
How many people have turned their lives around as a result of the sport? All right, let's go back to David Neiman.
All right, fight fans, it's time for our next bout of the night. Making his way down to the ring, a warm welcome, please, for Jose Marufo.
See Johnny coming.
Okay, here's Jose Marufo.
I got into boxing because since I was a kid, I always liked to fight. I was fighting at school, in the streets, and everywhere. So boxing, what's a sport that I fall in love with?
Right hand down.
Boxing, it's my job. So I'm at the gym 24/7, getting ready.
Good left hook.
Every time I go into a fight, I'm getting into a tough fight. So I just get ready for anybody, for any kind of style. I'm ready for whatever he want to bring.
And he'll be fighting Ioannis Birmpilis, Johnny the Greek from Larissa, Greece, through Toronto, and now calls Miami home.
And now about to make his way down to the squared circle. Welcome, please, Ioannis Birmpilis.
There he is, Johnny the Greek.
I'm very passionate fighter. I bring the fight, I bring the heat, I bring the smoke, and that's what will happen November 26 in Brampton, Ontario. And you will see a lot of fireworks. I promise you that. You will see a lot of fireworks. I'm coming to win. I don't know how that will take. It will take a knockout. If the knockout will come, let it come.
Right hand lands for Giannis, foul combination.
I will show my skills, I will show my talent, I will show who I am when I box, and the victory will be mine.
All right, there he is. All right, here's David Neiman with the introductions for our fourth bout of the evening. Super lightweights, fighting 8 rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Red Owl Boxing presents this bout scheduled for 8 rounds or less in the welterweight division. Our judges scoring the bout at ringside: Jasper Kujavsky, Jeremy Hayes, and Jim Monkelbon. And once the action begins, the third man in the ring, Mark Simmons. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, and tonight wearing checker pattern trimmed with red, his official weight, 139.5 pounds. He enters the ring with a record of 13 wins against 11 defeats, 2 draws, 1 win coming by way of knockout. He hails from Phoenix, Arizona, by way of Agua Prieto, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jose Marufo. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner, and tonight wearing blue trimmed with green. His official weight, 141 pounds even. His record is outstanding with 8 wins against only 1 defeat, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Pembroke Pines, Florida, by way of Larissa, Greece. Here is Ioannis, Johnny the Greek Birmpilis.
We went over the instructions in the dressing room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Mark Simmons, former Commonwealth Games gold medalist, the referee for this contest. Jasper Kajewski, Jeremy Hayes, and Jim Munkelbon will be the judges for this contest. 8 rounds, super lightweights, and here we go. Both these fighters look very quick.
Clash of heads early on.
Yeah, they're both moving in with their heads down.
Jose's throwing some bombs early on.
Like I said in the pre-fight, Johnny Birmpilis comes to fight. He trains hard, and he's gonna. I mean, once you light that match and get him going, he's gonna be going non-stop.
Jose Maruffo out of Agua Prieta, Mexico, now fighting out of Phoenix, 31 years old, 13 wins, 11 losses, 2 draws. The Zero Miedo, no fear. Zero Miedo.
Well, he's stepping towards Johnny with no fear, and that's a good opportunity for Johnny to stick that jab. And like I said earlier, with all these guys fighting these tough Mexican fighters, they got to be able to use that jab and use their boxing skills to make it an advantage for them. When they stand there and trade, it makes it an advantage for something they're used to doing.
Maruffo had an impressive record before a 6-bout losing skid. Then he won his next bout back in May right here at the Owl's Nest, a unanimous decision over Angel Rodriguez, who was 11-0 at the time. So that was a bit of a stunner there. Maybe he likes fighting in Canada.
Clash of heads by both men. Yep. Referee Mark Simmons checks here, makes sure there's no blood. Maruffo seemed to catch the worst of that head collision.
Yep. Jose kind of moving in forward his head a little. Both of them kind of moving with the head a little bit as they're letting their shots go. Johnny is bleeding from the head clash, right on the top of the head.
Yep, you can see the cut in the scalp.
Now, will that affect Johnny now that he sees the blood?
I don't think it's going to affect him because he knows it's coming from his head, but it could distract him and hamper him moving forward because the blood looks like it's right over top of the eyeball. When that blood starts leaking into your eye, it stings, it's sticky, it's an inconvenience. You know what I mean? If it's on his left eye, he's not going to be able to see the right hand as clear as he would had it not be bleeding in it. And he gets hit with a few hard right hands there from Jose Mufario.
Jose's pouring it on early on in this fight. Johnny got to get off the ropes. Johnny's against the ropes. Hold on, he's got
to gain a composure. He's got to get off those ropes and get to the center of the ring. There's nowhere for him to go sit on those ropes with a strong bear like Jose Maruffo throwing those hard shots.
Now, is it possible that he got hurt a little bit in that clash?
I think he might have got stung by a little bit. I don't think he was hurt badly, Joe, but enough to stop him, to put him on the ropes, to defend the vicious onslaught from Jose Maruffo, which didn't, if you're a judge, it's not a winning round for you if you're standing there blocking, defending for your life against big hard shots from Jose Maruffo.
Does it change your attitude in the ring when you get cut like that? Because I mean, you could see him trying to wipe it off, and
like I said earlier, Joe, I'm sure he knows it's from his head. If not, his corner's gonna be telling him now. It's not really a threat for the fight to be stopped because he has a cut on top of the head. Though it'll bleed consistently, I've had a head cut before, it's very tough to stop. The only thing that could possibly hurt Johnny is if the blood was trickling into his eye during the round.
But he got a nice experienced cut man in his corner. Lance the legend.
Lance the man Armstrong.
Cut man Campbell.
And both men go to the center of the ring and start training instantly. And Jose Maruffo just swarming.
He's a buzzsaw right now, isn't he?
Johnny got to catch him in between. He got to try and time.
He's got to get off those. He's got to get off those ropes, especially leaning back with that chin.
Yep.
because Jose Marufo is going to keep
Jose
throwing
looked
shots.
like he got cut as well above his eye. Is that a clash of head or is that a punch? That looks like a bad cut.
Both fighters
are cut now.
Have been cut.
Yep.
Nothing coming from the forehead of Johnny the Greek here right at this particular time, so the cut man seems to have been able to close it. Maruffo, that's another story. He is bleeding right now. Nice combination there by Johnny the Greek as he moves him.
And this is where Johnny the Greek's got it. He's got a box on the outside because it's very tough for Jose Marufo to land a clean shot. But when Johnny's sitting on the ropes, it makes it a lot easier for Marufo to land his shots.
Yep.
He's got a box from the outside right there to make it hard for Jose Marufo. Just like that left hook right there.
Big left hook by Birmpilis.
But when he goes straight back on the ropes like that, there's nowhere for him to go.
Be able to work that jab. Get up. Johnny the Greek.
Center of the ring or keep Maruffo on the ropes. That'd be the strategy right here.
But it's tough to do against a charge like Jose Marufo, who's here to win. He's here to fight. He's living in the United States now. He's living the American dream. He wants to fight and win and build a life for his family.
Right. Nice combination by Birmpilis. Pitting Maruffo in the corner. Mark Simmons steps in to break him up. Double jab.
Maruffo is definitely going to go out on his shield.
He is, but
combination.
Johnny Birmpilis landing some nice clean shots and rolling in and out. That's what he has to do against the charge of Jose Maruffo. He's got to box, roll out, and get out of the way for a receipt.
Under 30 seconds to go in round number 2.
Definitely a different fight here in round 2. Final seconds of the round. Birmpilis getting a warning from Simmons for hitting right at the end of the round. Here we go. Here's some of the action.
And now both men are cut, like we mentioned earlier, Joe. And when they're banging on the inside, it's almost impossible for them not to connect their heads. And a big left hook at the end of the round for Johnny Birmpilis. And that's where he's got to be on the outside. When he's boxing the outside, he lands those clean, nice, effective shots.
What I do got to tell you as well, though, is that Johnny has definitely found his groove. He's found where he wants to fight. He gave us a little Tyson Fury, leading off the ropes, punching off the ropes, catching off the ropes, and shooting his shot.
And I feel he's a lot more comfortable taking the shots from Jose Marufo. He doesn't feel as shaky. He's able to accept them a little bit better. But I still think it's a bad idea for him to be laying on the ropes to let Jose Marufo tee off on him with those wild winging shots.
All right, Francis, how you seeing it so far?
Definitely, I have this fight even so far, 1 round apiece for Johnny the Greek and for Jose Marufo.
Oh, through the slip. You can see that eye is still bleeding. Marufo's got something to deal with there. The cut on Johnny the Greek, on the other hand, is completely shut at this point, appears to be.
When Johnny steps back like that and lets those fast hands go, he landed 2 good shots to the body, then came back up to the head. That's exactly what he's going to do, is keep the distance, because Maruffo doesn't have an answer. He doesn't really have anything to walk in. He has no shots to work his way in there.
He's just hoping to land a lucky shot.
Over the top, and that's the only chance that is going to give him that opportunity, is when Johnny's sitting on the ropes, maybe able to catch a shot.
I like to see Johnny definitely work the jab a little bit more in this round, just to set up the shots, right? Just to set up the shots.
Now you work, let's go.
This is where those heads come together again.
Johnny, stop reaching for that. Hands up when you pull out.
Right hand to the body by
Good shot on this side. When he's against the rope, he's landing that nice left hook uppercut on the inside.
But that was good ring generalship by Johnny. He spun off the ropes. He got away from it. He landed his shots on the ropes, spun off, got out clean, didn't get hit with nothing leaning back. And those are what builds points and win rounds in the sport of boxing. It's ring generalship, Francis, as you know.
Sir.
And just like that, 1, 2, 3, clean, out. Start again. Instead of sitting there for a receipt. And a big
right hand
left
landed.
Right hand landed by Maruffo. Well,
that right hand landed because of the lack of defensive responsibility. He was on against the ropes with his hands down, trying to move. He got caught with a nice overhand right hand.
And you gotta know, without question, when you're on the ropes against a Mexican like Jose Marufo, you know he's gonna be raining fire because that's his shot, that's his opportunity.
Under 30 seconds to go in round number 3.
Birmpilis walks him back in the middle of the ring again. Being warned for holding on. Final seconds here. Round number 3.
Let's go to the corner of Johnny Birmpilis to see what his masters say to him after 3 exciting rounds. Telling their guy, you know, to keep boxing. I didn't know if I heard them say to not stay on the ropes, but for me as a coach against a guy like Jose Marufo, the biggest problems that Johnny Birmpilis has had tonight is sitting on the ropes, getting hit with those shots, trying to lean back. When he's boxing in the center of the ring, he can't be touched, and that should be the game plan moving forward as we close in on the last 2 rounds of this bout.
Stay in the center of the ring, and of course Maruffo is going to be trying to lean on him. Nice right hand by Maruffo. Round 4 scheduled for 8. Super lightweights.
And Johnny landed good shots, and he was landing good shots, but now that he's backed into the corner, Jose Marufo's starting to let his hands go.
This is almost similar to the fight we had before, when you have a fighter that wants to make it a war. The only way he can win if he makes it ugly. Johnny got to try to stay on the jab, spin out, move, create angles. You hear the corner tell him go east and west, go side to side.
That was a nice, beautiful step back right hand by Johnny. And that's what he's got to continue to do, but he can't be laying there on the ropes with this guy.
He might catch him in between with something.
1 and 2.
Birmpilis is 8-1, and his only loss came in 2019 at the majority decision to Mapango Kalunga, the Danforth Music Hall in Toronto. Since then, he's got 3 straight wins under new head trainer Javier Centeno, 2 stoppages. As we mentioned earlier, Centeno coaches Xander Zayas. He trains George Kambosos Jr. You know, he was fighting at junior middleweight and welterweight earlier. Now he feels he's back at 140 pounds, and he feels that's his strongest weight, that's his best weight. And the guys fighting tonight is 140 pounder that's really come to fight and test him.
Looks to be a shiner under that right eye of Jose Marufo.
Good body shot by Maruffo. Out come the mouth came the mouthpiece. Oh, there it is.
Nice uppercut by Johnny as Jose Marufo stepped in.
Marufo swinging wildly here, just letting him fly. And
without the gum shield. The gum shield is on the ground.
Right.
Good overhand right.
Final seconds. Round 4. It's been a good one. Oh, yeah. So, Marufo's pointing to his corner. Get that mouthpiece for me, will you? All right, let's have a look at some of the action.
Well, definitely right now on the card, I definitely have Johnny the Greek up 3 rounds to 1. I feel like the fight, he's controlling it. He's making it a little bit more difficult than he needs to by sitting on the ropes, allowing Jose Marufo to get his shots off. His coach is telling him, take that step back, shoot the uppercut, throw the jab, spin out. But Marufo is making it difficult. But nonetheless, he is winning 3 rounds to 1.
I gotta agree with you, my man. When he is letting those shots go and moving out, he's boxing beautifully. He's letting Jose Marufo in this fight by standing there or leaning on the ropes and taking those shots. He doesn't have to do that. He can box, move, pop that jab, pop that chain, and keep Jose Marufo at bay and make it an easy night for himself.
Marufo's out to make sure that he doesn't do that, but it's
it's a tough task. And let's take nothing away from Jose Marufo. He's here to win. He's doing his best. He's swinging hard, and he lands a beautiful right hand that stops Johnny on the ropes.
Marufo is just non-stop. Non-stop coming at him.
That's it, work there, Johnny. Don't let him off the hook like that again.
Little body combination by Birmpilis, but back comes Marufo. He's got Birmpilis pinned in the corner.
I think that Johnny Birmpilis has done such a good job boxing up to this point that he's taken a lot of steam out of Jose Marufo, where I don't feel he's as big as a threat as he was the first couple rounds.
You go forward, Johnny.
Definitely, Jose Marufo's mouth is wide open in this 5th round. It's just up to Johnny to land that shot, walk him onto a shot, set a trap for him with his aggressiveness, use it to his advantage.
A nice uppercut.
I couldn't agree with you more, Francis. Use the momentum of Jose Marufo and catch him on a shot coming in. As Marufo is really putting it on.
Oh, and he lands the left hand and a right. Just
Johnny
misses
seems
without.
to be a little hurt right now.
Jose Marufo smells blood.
Marufo is non-stop.
He's going forward.
And there's lots of time left in this round, boys. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Oh, and there's a good left hook now by Birmpilis.
He weathered the storm.
You talked about Marufo with his mouth open. That's why he probably dropped his mouthpiece in the last round. But
Touch that body, Johnny. Let's go.
But he's in good condition. He's still going. These arms are still flying. He's putting the heat on Birmpilis here. Birmpilis now has him where he wants him, on the ropes. Marufo can't do much damage with his back against the ropes.
All right, let's go.
Johnny is tough. We know that Johnny the Greek is tough. He's game, he's ready. I hope Jose didn't shoot his load, so to speak, get all that energy out in the last round. But Johnny right now needs to take advantage of all the energy that was expended from Jose Marufo.
Those are still hard, vicious shots.
Body shots.
Jose Marufo's throwing.
Oh, and he just got on the right hand.
And
that's it. The fight's over. The fight is over.
I told you, fellas, laying on the ropes like that, being lazy against a tough charge like Jose Marufo is going to do you no favors. That could have been avoided. Johnny Birmpilis was boxing beautifully at that start of the round and walked himself directly into that corner and let Jose Marufo tee off, and the overhand right and a good stoppage by Mark Simmons. He was drained physically, I feel, before that big monstrous overhand right landed on poor Johnny Birmpilis' chin.
It's just kind of what you said again in the fight before. That mental pressure, that forward aggressive pressure. It wears on you mentally, it wears on you physically, your legs, all that.
Let's have a look at the action here from that last round.
And it was just the right hand that over top that caught him. I thought Mark Simmons did a good job stepping in. I thought Birmpilis was hurt. Hats off to both fighters. They put on a great performance.
Action-packed.
By both men. I'd love to see our friend Jose Maruffo back on this side of the border as he put on an entertaining fight. He earned the victory tonight without question.
Yes.
I'd love to see him back on Canadian soil. And hats off to Johnny Birmpilis. He boxed well from the outside. It was just when he took shortcuts or got lackluster in his defense that was the ultimate demise for him at the end of this fight.
You know who else wants to see Maruffo on Canadian soil? Maruffo. The last time he was here, he scored that unanimous decision over Angel Rodriguez, who was undefeated, 11-0. Now you're fighting a guy who's 8-1, an up-and-coming guy, a guy who's considered a top prospect, and here he is scoring another victory. But I have to tell you, folks, he was relentless. He was relentless in that fight. And eventually, he warmed down, was able to land that right hand, and it turned the fight just like that.
Hey, Champ, I want to know, where does Johnny the Greek go back to the drawing board and make corrections, in your opinion?
He's just going to look back on this tape and he's going to understand that when he boxed from the outside, he boxed beautifully. And when he did pull back and counter and catch Jose Maruffo stepping in, he was very effective in doing that. But the biggest problem for Johnny Birmpilis, was when he was laying on the ropes and he stood there and engaged. You have to understand, if you're a young fighter, if you're fighting a tough guy from Mexico or South America, that's what they do. Every day in the gym, they're going to war, they're banging it out. They're not in there with slick boxers who are picking them apart of them from the outside. So you do what's best for you to win. You don't do what's best for the crowd to make them stand on their feet. You're in there to win and get a job done. And to box against a guy like Jose Maruffo, it's boxing from the outside.
He put the pressure on Johnny the Greek from round one to get him exactly in that corner on the ropes to land those shots.
All his shots might not have been landing clear, but he was landing on the arm, landing on the back, landing on the shoulder, and it slowly broke the Johnny Birmpilis down, where he almost retreated into the corner to catch his breath. It was his ultimate demise with that beautiful overhand right by Jose Maruffo.
And remember, this happened the round after. We were saying, well, there's Maruffo with his mouth open. He drops his mouthpiece. He looks like he may be tiring out. Obviously had a lot left.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what do you think about Johnny Birmpilis? The fact that he dropped down to 140 after fighting a welterweight and super welter.
And that's a big drop. That could have been an effect in tonight. I mean, why he faded, but I also got to give credit to Jose Maruffo. He threw a lot of shots. He put a lot of pressure on Johnny Birmpilis, so credit to both fighters. And let's take it to official ring announcer for the official.
David Neiman with the official time. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 39 seconds of the fifth round. Referee Mark Simmons steps in to call a halt to the action, declaring your winner by TKO, Jose Maruffo.
Okay, so there he is, Jose Maruffo, and you saw the other members of that Mexican made the trip here, cheering him on, and they're pretty happy for their countryman. Jose Maruffo, who was, as I mentioned, at one time he was really had an excellent record, 11-1. Here we go. Here's George Nacios with Jose Maruffo.
All right, we're here with Jose Maruffo. That was a war. You took it to him. Give me your impressions of the fight there.
I had to do this. That was the only way I was going to win this fight. I'm fighting my favorite hometown guy. So the only way I had to win is win every round, and that's how we do it. That was the plan.
It seemed like you were constantly on the attack. Like you weren't playing defense, you were constantly on the attack, looking to land big punches. You took some big punches too, but it didn't slow you down. Was that your whole plan? Never stop, just always move forward?
No, like I said, I've been in the ring with top level fighters. This is nothing too big for me. I had to do that. I had to fight back. There was no way I was gonna let him fight all the fight. I had to win every round to win this fight.
You cut him on top of the forehead in the first round with a good shot. Did you think maybe that was an opportunity to end it early?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah, I saw he got cut. I was like, I was gonna go for a cut and open it more, but you know, it's a tough order. So he fought back. He fought back, so there was no way for me to stop him just like that.
Congratulations on the win, Jose.
And I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. Thank Red All. Jose Marufo from Phoenix, Arizona. Hope to see you guys soon. And I'll be ready to give you guys another show next time.
Jose Maruffo.
Jose Maruffo. He's got one speed, max speed. Straight ahead, never stopped, man. He was just absolutely relentless in that fight. And like he said, he felt like he had to be. He felt like he had to be.
And here in that victory tonight from the opening bell, he put his foot on the gas. He took some shots from Johnny Birmpilis, but in the end, it was his constant pressure and will to win that got him the victory for this fight.
You know, it's if you're Johnny Birmpilis and you know you go back to the drawing board. What do you for his handlers? What are they thinking now? What kind of a fight they're looking for? How much time are they taking off? What are they going to do here, Steve?
He's going to look for a little bit of an easier touch. Jose Marufo came here and he was gun swinging. He was a dangerous puncher from the outset, especially after Johnny Birmpilis dropping weight. I mean, you would want to maybe take a little bit easier of a fight next time and decide if that's the weight class he wants to fight at or if he wants to stay at his original weight class of welterweight. Those are decisions that him and his team know personally and closely, things that I don't know. So that's a team for him and his team to make. But ultimately, a softer touch moving forward and decide what weight class you want to stay and fight at that weight and move forward, fighting that weight, climbing the rankings.
Well, our main event tonight features a fighter named Lucas Bahdi, who's 12-0, undefeated. Let's listen to Lucas.
We're happy to have Lucas Bahdi on the show. He's one of Canada's best. He's one of Canada's brightest. He's in an amazing division, 135. He fights at 135. That's an explosive division, a lot of great talent. And he and his management team want to move up the ladder very quickly, as early as next year. So he has to step it up and take on somebody that's going to take him to that next step. At this point in Lucas Bahdi's career, every fight has to mean something. Every fight has to make sense. Every fight has to take him to the next step, to the next level. And he's also got great power, a lot of knockouts. His knockout percentage is fantastic. And he's a very entertaining guy to watch. And he's from Niagara Falls. We built this place for Canadian fighters to shine so that our best can come here into the Owl's Nest and put on a great show. And he's one of Ontario's best, so we're excited to have him.
He is one of Canada's best, no doubt about that.
Like Gabriel said, I'm very excited about Lucas Bahdi. He's a great puncher, a great boxer. He's a student of the sport. He works tirelessly nights with Stevie Bailey, working and perfecting on their craft. I know he has a lot of hunger for the game. He's one of my top prospects, along with guys like Spencer Wilcox, Zoltarani, whose home this is here at Red Owl. There's just so much talent in Ontario, more so than I've ever seen. So I'm looking for a bright future for all these young superstars, and especially young Lucas Bahdi, we're going to see here tonight.
Yeah, we were hoping to see Zoltarani, but he had an injury in training, so he wasn't able to fight on this card. But Lucas Bahdi, you know, as an amateur, he was multiple Canadian championships. He was, for that 2016 Olympic team, he was the best Canadian fighter out there, but he got kind of screwed over by Boxing Canada at the time and didn't get a chance to represent this country.
And his team and manager, Phil Greco, who's been on the big stage, fighting with Amir Khan, fighting in MGM Grand, they're moving him right. They had the right idea. They had him 10-0 in 10 months or in 12 months in 1 year. The activity is what makes a fighter, in my opinion, is going to make them grow and get to that next level. Fighting under the hot lights, fighting under that pressure, performing under the pressure like Lucas has before. I'm looking forward to another great performance. He went the distance for the first time ever, his last fight in his hometown in Niagara Falls. So I'm looking for a very explosive performance tonight with the experience he's gained in his last fight going 10 rounds.
Yeah, you got a lot of experience when you go 10 rounds, as you would know, Steve. I mean, yeah, it's something that every fighter has to get to before you get to fighting those championship rounds. Tonight he's going to have to go, well, scheduled to go 8 rounds. We'll see how it works out. But, you know, he is he's got them all. He's got all the tools. He's got all the tools to make it happen. And Francis?
I actually got to add something. On my podcast, The Way in Boxing, slight plug, Lucas Bahdi said in 18 months, he must be a world champion. And if he's not, something is wrong. How do you guys feel about such a bold statement? In 18 months, he said he has to be a world champion, or he's not doing something right. How do you feel about that?
I feel that's a tough statement to make because there's so much politics that I'm sure he's aware of, but he doesn't know how hard it can really be. For me, for instance, I was ranked #1 by the IBF. Israel Vasquez was the champion. We went to purse bid, which takes time. Went to purse bid. They won it, the fight didn't happen. Went to purse bid again, they won it, fight didn't happen. Went to a third purse bid, we won it. And he just said, I'm gonna give up the belt, so now I gotta fight for a vacant belt. Then I go to fight Gabula Babaza in South Africa. He failed his medical, no fight. So it was 13 months I waited before I fought for my world title. So to put a timeline on things is gonna be a little tough for Lucas Bahadi. The main point is, he has the skills, the mindset, and the right team behind him to become a world champion. I'm a big fan of Lucas Bahadi, and I'm very, very excited to see him here perform tonight.
Well, we're going to see Lucas Bahadi fight tonight. I think a lot of fight fans are going to be on side with you, Steve, after they see him fight. The thing about becoming a world champion in 18 months in that division, when you're talking about Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Gambosis and Lomachenko, and the lightweight division is stacked.
And Ryan Garcia, absolutely.
Ryan Garcia.
It is stacked from top to bottom. It's going to be tough to get one of those big names who don't even want to fight each other because they're such big names. They don't want to take cuts and take percentages. So it's going to take something. But it's also, Joe, on the flip side of that coin, it's a possibility for one of these guys to say, here, this guy's got a good record, he's from Canada, let me have a tune-up. It's a good opportunity to break those, get in those top 10 rankings. So maybe one of these guys could take him as a voluntary, but he's just got to keep working away, and his time will come. He's got to keep his foot on the gas in the gym, and his time will come. There's no doubt about it with Lucas Bahadi.
With a stacked division, the lightweight division, you forgot to add Frank Martin to it. You got Michel Rivera that looks like Muhammad Ali. The division is stacked, but so he can steadily work his way up and pick off some of those fights to get himself ranked.
All right. Here's David David.
Ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started with our co-main event of the evening, we have a very special guest in the house tonight. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the former heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox the Lion Lewis.
There he is. There's the man, Lennox Lewis. He's up there behind us, I believe, guys. Oh, there he is up there. Hey. Lennox the Lion Lewis, the undisputed. That's his answer machine, by the way.
Yeah, the undisputed.
You have reached the undisputed, yes indeed. The last undisputed heavyweight champion.
Well, that's quite an accolade to have, so I'll use it too if I had.
All right, fight fans, the action continues here at the Owl's Nest. About to make his way down to the ring. A warm welcome, please, for Ricardo Lara.
Okay, here he is, Ricardo Lara, known as Ricky.
Me gusta el boxeo desde pequeño, siempre me ha gustado pelear, mas nunca he sido de problemas. Pues es adaptarme más bien a cualquier estilo, ¿verdad? Tengo un boxeo en el que utilizo mucho la defensa, o sea, me gusta trabajar las partes blandas. Y realmente venimos a ganar. Queremos que nuestro rival también venga con muchas ganas, porque más que nada aquí los que queremos que salgan ganando sea el público, que tengan un buen espectáculo.
And we suspect he will. give us a good show. Back to David.
And now about to make his way down to the squared circle. A warm welcome, please, for Vlad Panin.
All right, Maple Leafs jersey. Here's Vlad Panin. Super bad.
I grew up watching fights. I used to go down and train at Floyd's gym all the time, the Mayweather Boxing Club, and just watching him train really kind of like motivated and inspired me, and seeing what it takes to be at the highest level. Probably boxed more like him when I was younger, and now I try to be a little bit like more physical, more aggressive, kind of like a younger Floyd, boxer puncher type. Just go put that heat on him, and I don't think this fight goes like 2 rounds, so I think I'm gonna get it done early. You know, we don't get paid for overtime, so I'm in and out.
All right, our co-main event, 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Here's the official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Red Owl Boxing proudly presents this, our co-main event of the evening, scheduled for 6 rounds or less. In the middleweight division, our judges score in this contest at ringside: Alan Davis, Jasper Kujavsky, and Jeremy Hayes. And once the action begins, the referee, Dave Dunbar. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner tonight, wearing black trimmed with silver. His official weight, 162 3/4 pounds. He enters the ring with a professional record of 22 wins against 10 defeats, 1 draw, 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And he comes to us from El Grullo, Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ricardo Ricky Lara. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner, and tonight wearing blue trimmed with white. His official weight, 159 pounds even. His record is an outstanding one, with 15 wins against only 1 defeat, 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Los Angeles, California, by way of Gomel, Belarus. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Vlad Super Bad Panin.
Okay, let's have a look now at the tail of the tape. Panin, 27 years old, Lara 30, he's got 33 pro fights. Height difference 3 inches, reach 7 inches. That's significant.
It is significant, as well as the age and the height. All of the favors are in Vlad Panin's way, but it's going to be up to Ricardo Lara to change things up.
Interesting. Lara came in at 2.8 pounds overweight today. Panin decided to let that slide. He immediately signed the waiver to fight, regardless of the weight difference. And we got ourselves a fight.
Protect yourselves at all times. Belt line is here, belt line is here. There or above will be considered good blows. Are there any questions from the corners? Gentlemen, touch gloves now. Come out at the bell. Good luck to you both.
Dave Dunbar, the referee for this contest. Alan Davis, Jasper Kujavsky, and Jeremy Hayes, the 3 judges at ringside in this super welterweight contest scheduled for 6 rounds. In his last trip to Canada back in August, Ricardo Lara was stopped by Jesse Wilcox in Cornwall on the Claggett-Louise undercard.
Vlad Panin sticking that jab out beautifully and fast and accurate here early in the first round. And that's what he's got to do to a guy like Ricardo Lara, just keep him consistent, keep him honest with that jab, and everything will come behind the jab for Vlad Panin.
His only loss was a decision to Moises Fuentes in February of 2020. That was in Los Angeles. He has since reeled off 8 straight wins. In his last fight, he knocked out Reggie Harris Jr. in the 6th round of a scheduled 8-rounder at Commerce, California, in the co-main event of a card there. Harris was 7-1 heading in. Panin, as we mentioned, had no problem with Lara coming in 2.8, almost 3 pounds overweight. So I don't care.
He's like, let's get it on.
Bring him on.
Yeah, let's go.
Bring it on.
One thing I can say Panin is definitely showing tonight, Steve, is a good understanding of his distance. He knows how to keep the fighter at distance in order to get his shots off. His jab, which is stiff and powerful, like you said, and definitely falling behind it with the 1-2.
He's very impressive early here tonight. I've never seen Vlad Panin fight. I'm very impressed with him so far. Popping that, keeping the distance, and not getting reckless. You know, I mean, this is professional boxing. We've got 3 minutes to the round. He's got 6 or 8 of them to burn off here, and he's in no rush to go out there and get caught with something silly. He's just kind of feeling them out, popping that jab, creating openings.
We saw Panin in that video.
Oh, and a beautiful
left hook to the body. Oh, I think it's over.
Ricardo Lara will
over.
not get up from that. He reached around the elbow, and that is it.
Oh, he's up.
Oh, he did get
there
up.
There you go.
Played possum with me even a few times.
He's a little soft around the middle, so you definitely put water in the basement. Take some air out them tires, is what Panin is doing right now.
Oh, I was about to say, we saw that video of Panin training, and you can see the hand speed of this guy. And, you know, he's got good height and reach. He's using that jabs particularly well.
But now he's got to be careful. He's got to be smart.
I think we already felt that this over now for
Referee
sure.
Dave Dunbar waves it off in a beautiful, explosive performance by Vlad Panin.
Super bad.
And that was a super bad badass performance, I should say, for Vlad Panin. He boxed beautifully from the outset, stuck that jab, kept him on the outside, and dug to the body early. And for 15-1, he boxed like a guy who's 15-1, and on the cusp of being ranked in the top 25 in the world. That was a great performance from young Vlad Panin here tonight.
One of the things that you said, which was very impressive. Let's get to the highlights.
Yeah, here's some...
I mean, he kept him at the end of that jab, and there's nothing Ricardo Lara could do, so he had to reach in, and the moment he reached in is when he got hit with beautiful jabs, and then he dug to the body with that left hook to the liver. And that's something that I implore to my fighters nonstop or as much as I can. A man can do a million sit-ups, but if you can't take a shot to the liver, they're tough to defend. And Vlad Panin did that, and there was nothing that Ricardo Lara could do to withstand the pain he felt.
And you know, body shots do not wear off. They only get worse as the rounds go on.
Especially to the liver.
Especially to the liver. What I was most impressed by was the ability to control the distance. He was throwing the body shot and the jab 1-2 from a distance. Even if Lara was to throw back, he was out of range. And that was impressive.
It was just the patience and the professionalism, and you can tell he has 16 fights inside the pro ring, and he's been in this stage training, he's been with different camps, and he's getting different looks. It was a very impressive performance for me tonight from Vlad Panin.
Definitely.
Well, you can saw he hurt him with that first. We were really surprised that he got up from the first shot to the.
Well, he went down like a ton of bricks.
Well, yeah,
he did.
and clearly he had not recovered by the time he went down for the second time.
I think this is the finishing right here. Yep, that was the finishing blow.
That's it. He spit the mouthpiece out and he said, "That's it. I'm done.
Can't take no more."
This one's not a joke, fellas.
Yeah,
it's the hurt business.
Okay, let's go to David Neiman with the official numbers from that bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 45 seconds of the very first round. Referee Dave Dunbar calls a halt to the action, declaring your winner by technical knockout, Vlad Super Bad Panin!
Okay, let's hear from Vlad Panin now 16-1. Here's George Nasios in the center of the ring.
All right, we're here with Vlad Panin. You predicted that this fight would go 2 rounds max.
No. I said it wouldn't go 2 rounds.
Oh, it wouldn't go 2 rounds, and it didn't. How proud of you that you followed up on your prediction?
I mean, it was kind of expected. You know, I was really looking forward to fighting Zolt, and then, you know, he had to pull out. He had an injury, and then we were gonna fight another guy, and then he pulled out. So I'm just happy to have fought. You know, credit to Lara for coming in on last minute replacement. You know, I'm sure it's never easy to, you know, get called up on like 3-4 days notice, but I just want to say thank you to Red Owl for giving me the opportunity and letting me come out here. It was actually one of my goals to fight international before the end of the year or sometime soon, and you guys made it come true. So yeah, thank you.
Nice, congratulations. Can I just ask you, I know it wasn't the actual stoppage, but that body shot that put him down the first time, how good did that feel? And did you know at that point, like it's just a matter of time?
That's not even like one of the hardest body shots I could land. I guess I just placed it correctly, but you know, precision beats power, and placement and speed and just timing, all that adds up to, you know, when you hit a guy in the liver, you don't even have to hit him that hard. It's just, you know, the placement.
And I know you mentioned the fight with Zolt had to get canceled due to injury, and you had another opponent, that fight fell through. Your opponent today, he didn't even make weight. When they asked you, like, if you want to wait and see if you want to sign the contract or not do it, you just said, no, I want to fight. Like, forget it, let's go. How much did you want to fight tonight?
Oh yeah, I was ready to fight whoever. I said I was ready to fight Thanos because, you know, we had a really good training camp. I was ready, I was in shape to go 10 rounds. It only took 1, so I'm not going to complain about it. I'm happy to get the win, and we'll be back soon.
One more question. So you're from LA, see you come to the ring rocking the Leafs jersey. What's that? Was that trying to get the fans on your side, or what was that?
Oh yeah, you know, I have to show support, and you know, wherever I'm at, that's, you know, I want to connect with the people that are wherever I go. So, yeah, you know, that's all I gotta say. Go Leafs, yeah.
Congrats on an awesome performance.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve, originally he was supposed to, that wasn't the opponent he was originally supposed to face, but you know, you never know who you're going to face, and you've had that happen before where you get, you're training to fight one particular opponent, but then you end up fighting another guy, but obviously it didn't matter to Vlad Panin, who was, you know, who was born in Belarus and raised in Los Angeles. It didn't matter who he was fighting tonight.
And that's what happens. This is the sport of boxing. Nothing is guaranteed until you're in the ring. I've signed contracts several times in my career that, you mean, fights get canceled last minute or day before, week before. This is the boxing game. Nothing is guaranteed until the bell rings. And hats off to Vlad and his team for, you mean, taking the adjustment, taking the mix-up. Zolt got injured, and he took this guy on short notice, and he had a dominant performance. He got the win, and I mean, for me here in my respect to be back here on Canadian soil, although he rocked the Maple Leafs jersey and trains out of Los Angeles, I'd definitely like to see him fight here again at the Owl's Nest.
It would be great to see him fight here. I think he made a few fans tonight. You know, you've got you know, Vlad Panin coming here. You've got you know, fighters from Mexico coming here tonight. It's really got the international feel, doesn't it?
It does, and hats off to Gabe and his team for allowing that to happen. I mean, a lot of promotioners want to stick and brand their guys and push their guys, where Gabriel Fanous and his team have the doors open for these young fighters to come, build their records, build their careers, get to fight under the hot lights, and that's what you need to grow in this game, is continuous action, continue to fight, to feel that pressure and that nervousness to fight under the hot lights. That's what you need to grow in this sport of boxing. So hats off to Gabe and his team for providing that to so many young athletes that they have here. A lot of credit's got to go to Gabe and his team for doing that, because not a lot of promoters are willing to do that, bring guys on with no contracts and keep them active and keep them busy.
I really love what they're doing here. I mean, I just love the atmosphere here, the intimacy, you know, 1,000 people, jam-packed, close to the action. and you can feel the buzz here. It's really, really cool.
Definitely. Definitely, before we go to Lennox Lewis, if you look around the arena, there's absolutely standing room only. And some people are standing. It's absolutely sold out, great atmosphere. And we're going to Lennox Lewis before the main event.
All right, let's hear from Lennox.
Helping fighters in Ontario and in Canada, and hopefully create some champions, which we will, create some champions and some good fighters. Creating a platform for them, like Red Owl has done, for them as well around the world. Bring other boxers or potential champions into a place where they can become champions, and making it more, allowing it to be more easier for you. And that's by saying, you know, instead of being trained by a person that's, you know, doesn't really know anything about boxing and, you know, is giving you bad info, and then when you go out there you can't be successful. I want to create a place where you can come and train you to become a champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stage is set to begin with our featured bout of the evening. Now about to make his way down to the ring, please welcome Diego Andrade Chavez.
All right, there he is, Diego Andrade Chavez. Cuchis is his nickname.
El boxeo me gusta desde que empezó a pelear mi papá y mis tíos. Vengo de una familia boxeadora. Mi tío fue 5 veces campeón de Norteamérica. Peleó con Onito Donaire, con muchos peleadores buenos, y de ahí me empezó a gustar el boxeo a mí. Pues yo pienso que voy a ganar. Lucas Bahdi, no lo subestimo, es muy bueno, pero el día de hoy yo vengo a brindar una guerra arriba del ring. Yo no soy como los peleadores que le han echado pasados. Yo soy un peleador diferente, y el día de mañana se va a ver. Yo vengo por la victoria.
He's coming for the
And now,
victory, yes, but
about
he'll
to
have
make his way down to the squared circle. Welcome, please, Prince Lucas Bahdi.
Okay, here he is, the Prince, Lucas Bahdi.
Being Palestinian, I was born a fighter. Being from a country like Palestine, we got people out there fighting for their lives every single day. I'll be walking out with the flag representing them. I predict knockout, and I think my timing is going to catch him probably within the first 3-4 rounds.
The body's upstairs. It's not going to go any further. That's it.
I trained my ass off for this guy, and that's why he's going to get a beating on the 26th.
Oh, I love that laugh. Let's have a look at the tail of the tape, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Owl's Nest here in Brampton, Ontario, Red Owl Boxing and DAZN proudly present the main event of the evening, scheduled for 8 rounds or less in the super welterweight division. This bout is sponsored by Aero Facility Management, Power Staffing Solutions, Hearts Premium Pre-Rolls, Sugar Rush, and the Aero Group of Companies. Sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission, Commissioner at ringside, Luke Kotick, and our timekeeper for the bout, Joel Bunag. The 3 judges scoring this fight at ringside are Alan Davis, Jasper Kujavsky, and Jeremy Hayes. And once the action begins, the man in charge, former world title challenger, Donovan Boucher. And now, for everyone here in attendance and those watching at home, we are at the Owl's Nest and live on DAZN, and the time for talk is over. Here it is, the war to settle the score. Introducing first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, and tonight wearing white trimmed with gold. His official weight, 143.5 pounds. He enters the ring with a record of 14 wins against 8 defeats and 2 draws, 1 win coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Durango, Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, presentando Diego Andrade Chavez. And his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner, and tonight wearing black trimmed with gold. His official weight, 143.75 pounds. He has a perfect professional record of 12 wins against no defeats or draws, 11 big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Niagara Falls, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is the hard-hitting rising star, Perez Lucas Bahdi.
All right, here we are, the main event of the evening. 8 rounds scheduled in the lightweight division. Diego Andrade Chavez. His nickname is Cuchis. A nickname his mom gave him. I didn't know what it meant, but he said just a nickname. It's a cute nickname.
Diego Chavez comes over with a wild left hook. And I can tell you early, that's going to be a big mistake for a sharpshooter like it's Lucas Bahdi.
Landed left-right combination right off the hop.
You know the shake of the head means. You know what it means.
That means I feel your power already. Oh my God.
I definitely feel it.
That right hand looping right just misses by Andrade Chavez.
And I know I said it a few times earlier tonight, fellas. The only thing Lucas Bahadi's got to worry about is being careless with his defense, keeping his chin in the air, getting hit with a wild looping garbage shot by a guy like Diego Chavez, who's clearly here to wing some shots and try to take him out.
Yeah.
Diego Chavez has been quite busy. He's coming off an 8-round decision loss to undefeated countryman Alberto Moro a month and a half ago. Moro is a real top prospect in Mexico. It's his 3rd fight in 6 months. He scored a unanimous decision over Jose Ramon Rodriguez in his hometown of Durango last November. Andrade beat Jorge Lara, who is 29-1-2 by 8-round split decision in 2020. He also went the distance, 10 rounds with WBO #1 contender Archie Sharp, who was 20-0 last year. Went the distance with Brian Acosta, who was 17-0 at the time.
And you see Chavez shake his head to the body shots. But listen to me, that's good for Lucas Bahadi to start working that body, and Diego Chavez can shake his head all he wants. It hurts and it's going to break you down, especially with a power puncher like Lucas Bahdi.
Chavez knows the only way he can win this fight from early on is to make it ugly. So he's wanting Lucas to engage in that.
He's taunting him. He's trying to pull Lucas out of his game plan. Yep. But Lucas, along with Stevie Bailey, they're such a professional team. Yep. It's going to take a lot more from Diego Chavez to start making a guy Lucas Bahdi swing wild and be silly.
Bahdi 12-0 with 11 knockouts. If he wants to knock out here, it's going to be tough to do. This guy has never been stopped.
Well, all Lucas got to do is set some traps. The aggression of Chavez, he can set some traps, walk him onto either a left hook, a straight right hand, or an uppercut and end the night. You know he got power in both hands.
And that right there, that 3 jabs, those jabs are going to set up everything for Lucas Bahadi. They're going to keep Diego Chavez honest. They're going to keep him at bay, and that jab is going to be money for Lucas Bahdi.
Let's keep touching that
left hook by Chavez was blocked.
And a beautiful step back right hand by Lucas Bahdi.
Good work, Lucas. Good work. Nice and patient.
Good right to the body by Chavez.
Great opening round for Lucas Bahdi. That's exactly what he's looking to do.
Okay, here's some of the action in from that first round.
And you see Diego Chavez throwing those wild looping shots. Lucas Bahdi just boxing beautifully from the outside like he knows how. It's the first round. He's getting a feel for Diego Chavez's power. He's getting a feel for his range, and that's exactly what he wanted to do here in the first round if I'm in the corner of Lucas Bahdi.
I love the fact that he's not rushing his work as well. The shots are there to land, but he's taking his time. He's going to the body early on in this fight, and I think that's going to pay dividends later on.
Believe me, I know Lucas Bahdi loves his knockout ratio, but he's a very, very, very smart human being. He's not going to go out there and look for a knockout. He knows in this game it'll come naturally behind the jab, behind working good body shots. Like I said, he has a great team behind him in Stevie Bailey and Phil Greco. He has a world of experience in his corner, so he's not going to go out there and do something reckless.
Yeah. And he's got tons and tons of amateur experience before the pros, right? I mean, 13 times he started boxing when he was 13, multiple Canadian titles, represented Canada all over the world. I mentioned earlier he should have gone to the Olympics in 2016, but got screwed over by Boxing Canada a couple of times. But he's certainly making a statement now. The Prince with the black trunks and the gold trim, the gold, of course, signifying royalty, the Prince.
That's a beautiful left hook that Bahadi landed early.
He's got Chavez in some trouble here along the ropes.
That all started from a body shot.
Andrade Chavez trying to fight off the ropes, get back in the center ring. He's mocking.
He got to make more commitment going to the body, because I believe the commitment to the body is what's making Chavez shake his head. It's going to open up that headshot he wants.
And it's going to break him down and slow him down and make things a lot easier.
What's with the tongue hanging out in the...
That's just a sign of frustration. There's nothing he's been able to do in these opening 2 rounds of Lucas Bahdi except be on the receiving ending of Lucas Bahadi's punches, and he definitely doesn't like it to the body. That's when he starts making faces to the body.
He has to make it dirty in order to win.
And this is where Diego Chavez wants his fight. On the ropes, ugly, intertwined, punching, grabbing, holding.
Messy, yep.
Where Lucas Bahdi's got to stick to his game plan, keep boxing beautifully, popping that jab to the head and the body, and eventually he'll chop down the tree of what is Diego Chavez.
He just winked at us. All right. Oh, great combination. That right hand landed. How do you know you got a guy hurt? He's shaking his head.
The thing about it is that the headshots is not hurting him, but the body shots is. And that's what he's giving the sign to Lucas Bahdi, is that you hit me in the head all day, but you got to go to my body.
Oh, and a big check hook. Good body shot by Bahdi. But Chavez comes back with a couple of his own body shots.
You got to commit to it and stand in there and bang to the body.
He may not be the smoothest or greatest boxer, but Diego Chavez is one tough son of a gun. He's taking some big shots from Bahadi, and he's throwing his own hard shots back in return.
Oh, and a big looping left just glances off the glove of Lucas Bahdi.
Too wild for a sharpshooter like Lucas Bahdi, but it's keeping Lucas honest. He's staying nice and tight in the pocket, popping that jab. As we have a look at the sold-out crowd here at the Owl's Nest in Brampton, Ontario.
All right, let's look back at some of the action at that second round. Oh, there's the card.
Definitely got Francis' card. Definitely got Lucas Bahdi up 2 rounds right now. He's definitely doing everything he has to. He's keeping the distance. He's hitting Chavez, frustrating him, having him change his looks, having him sit on the ropes. He doesn't know what to do right now. But one thing I can say is, with Chavez being so tough, Lucas Bahdi has to continue to commit going to the body.
Commit to the body and commit to staying focused and sticking to the game plan. Don't engage in a silly war to try to not get the knockout or rush the knockout. Stay behind that jab, stay behind the body shots like my man Francis mentioned, and eventually you keep chopping at that tree and it will come down.
That jab has to be taking its toll. He's stiff jab, landing it at will pretty much here. Just missed with the left hook.
A little bit of blood coming from the nose of Chavez early on in this third round. You got Chavez switching from southpaw to orthodox, trying to throw off the game plan of the Prince.
At this point of the fight, Lucas is such a dominant force. I don't think it matters if he had 3 legs in there to put forward, because Lucas is going to do what he wants to do in there. You just got to be defensively conscious of where his hands are so he doesn't get hit with a wild, awkward, silly shot from Diego Chavez.
Well, at this point, I think Andrade Chavez is trying everything in the book just to try to throw Bahdi off his game. It's just not going to happen.
For me, that's just a sign of frustration. He's not being able to do what he wants to do or is trying to do. That's just a sign of frustration coming from Diego Chavez.
Sit the hips. Let's get that jab going downstairs.
Donovan Boucher steps in to break him up.
Where's that counter? To the body.
And 2 good body shots, and
that hurt him.
That hurt Diego Chavez. He did not like those body shots.
You got to keep putting water in that basement.
You kill the body, the head will die. That was something that me and Chris Johnson lived by in sparring and in fighting. You kill the head, the body will die. And those 2 body shots, Diego Chavez did not like.
Stiff jab to the body. That stab jab to the body.
Right, left, both of them landed.
Touch the shoulder early to get your distance on that, Lucas. Where's the counter?
I like the new look Lucas is sporting tonight. The mustache is very nice.
Got the left hook off that too. Got the left hook off that too. Taping the legs. Open up your left foot.
Lucas got to get the jab active a little bit more. Pump the jab.
He's got to keep the side-to-side movement as well. He can't let a guy like Diego Chavez throw from standing still, because that's where he gets his most power from. It's just small little angles that he's taken before he makes the offensive attack with the jab that was giving Diego Chavez problems from the opening bell.
Final seconds. Oh,
that was a trip. That was a trip.
Yeah.
That looked a little bit on purpose. Just
Yeah.
Kind of stuck the foot out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely slipped. There we go. All right, here's some of the action. Round 4. Yeah, clearly a slip.
I mean, the fighters' lives get tangled up. It happens in the sport of boxing.
Yep.
Lucas' body's in extreme condition, but let me tell you something, fellows. As a former fighter, it takes a lot of energy to get yourself up off the canvas, whether it be from a push down or a knockdown. It is physically draining. I definitely know it's not going to affect a guy in a beast like Lucas' body, but it is draining for a fighter to pull himself up off the canvas after being pushed down or knocked down.
There's that body shot. Followed up by the left hook. Just missed with the left hook there. Okay, here we are, round 4, scheduled for 8. 8 rounds in the lightweight division. Lucas Bahdi in the black trunks.
I wonder if Lucas Bahdi can add a little catch and shoot. What do you think, champ? A little catch and shoot in between Chavez's wild shots, especially those wild hooks to the body. I heard his corner telling him, where's the counter?
To catch and go. I like when he's jabbing to the body with that right, and then he's coming over top of that right hand, but he should jump onto a big left hook off to that right hand.
Right.
Because Diego Chavez is a tough customer. He's taken a couple of big one shots from Lucas Bahadi. So now if I'm in the corner, Lucas Bahadi, I want to, 3s and 4s to start letting him go to really start putting the damage to Diego Chavez.
Just a little background story. Gabriel and Steve Fanous are from Palestine, and we have the Prince, Lucas Bahdi, who's also representing Palestine and Canada tonight. So shout out to all the Palestinian fans.
Palestinian heritage, but born and raised in Niagara Falls.
Absolutely.
This is, he turned pro in May of 2019, being pretty busy. His first 11 fights, of course, all knockout wins. None went past the 4th round. Then he's coming off that tough win over another tough Mexican, Diego Fabian Eligio, who was 22-7-1. Bahdi dominated the fight, though, outscored 190 by all 3 judges. You know, the first time anyone went the distance for him. And yeah, 2 fights ago he had surgery to repair some damage to his right hand. He broke both hands in the fight in Mexico a while back, but the pandemic gave him a chance to recover. He's got, 10 rounds under his belt, lots of knockouts, obviously no issues with those hand injuries because he went the distance 10 rounds. He had the knockout victory. He's dedicating this fight, by the way, to his former trainer, Willis McMahon, who died last week after suffering kidney failure. So this fight is dedicated to Willis McMahon. Lucas also owns a auto dealership. Did you know that? He owns an auto dealership. Olympia Motors.
Oh, and a beautiful uppercut. And that was perfectly placed. Now we'll see the left uppercut and the left hook, sorry.
Another right hand, Right on the button. Oh, another right, and another right. Another right. Oh, and he's in trouble. He has found his mark now.
Approaching 10 seconds to go in round number 4.
Big shots from Lucas Bahdi. I got to give a little credit to Diego Chavez as he took those well. He's swinging back.
And he's coming back.
Well, you said it well. He said Chavez is a tough son of a gun. And he's proven that tonight.
And what a main event here we have at the Owl's Nest.
Wow.
In Brampton, Ontario.
You know, I mentioned the guy has never been stopped. He's got some losses, but he's never been stopped. And he's gone the distance with some heavy hitters, some good fighters, guys who were 17-0, 20-0. Andrade is here to fight, and he's going to be a tough guy to take out of there.
I think if Lucas Bahdi keeps doing what he's doing, boxing smart, not engaging in unnecessary wrestling stuff, where that gives Diego Chavez a chance to rest, he just got to keep popping off those 3s and 4s, working that body. I mean, it'll be a close call, but I think he can pull off the first stoppage of Diego Chavez's career. But it's something that he's got to not rush for or look for. He's got to let it come naturally. He can't be swinging for the fences. Keep working behind that jab, working behind those body shots. And if it comes, it comes. If not, it's good to get the rounds in.
There's 2 things that you said, Champ, that I like. The uppercut, and after you shoot the uppercut, that big left hand coming over the top will end the show.
Pop that head up and rip that left hook off.
Absolutely.
You know, he keep doing what he's doing. That's how he got him in trouble in the first place. He doesn't have to go for the knockout. He just keep doing what he's doing. He's going to be
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that uppercut's landing.
Nice jab by Lucas.
Drop down.
The jab's going to set up everything for Lucas.
Oh, great combination.
Oh, and a big left hook.
Right hand lead, left hook.
And it was just a nice light right hand to set it up for the big left hook. Very well placed shots by Lucas Bahdi.
Got to go back to the body. Continue to pour water in the basement.
Left hook lead. Chavez tries to shake that off. He's taken some big shots in this fight.
And then drop. Even there with the uppercut.
Again, the uppercut. His corner urging him to throw that punch.
Get those legs right. Use your feints.
Nice stiff jab by Lucas Bahdi.
Get lower. And short now, short when you get
That
close.
jab again.
The jab has been key for Lucas all night, obviously with his big overhand rights and big left hooks, but the jab has set everything up and it has kept Diego Chavez defensively at bay.
Left hook lands.
Downstairs, drop downstairs. With that uppercut.
I'd definitely like to see Lucas go to the body just a little bit more. Just a little, at least for another round or 2 before he starts to go for the head.
With more than just the stick. He's been throwing that stick to the jab beautifully and coming up top with the right hand.
He needs a liver shot.
Reach around those elbows.
Hey, Good effort. Good effort. Just tighten it up. Open up that left foot when you come in. Body, Lucas.
30 seconds to go. Round 5. And that's a slip. He just pushed him down.
15 seconds. Let's get that uppercut going when he reaches.
And a big shot landed by Lucas.
Oh, that was a very good round for Lucas Bahdi, who appears to have really taken control of this fight.
From the outset, he's been in control of this fight. He's boxed really from the outside, and Diego Chavez has no answers. And after 5 rounds, Francis, it should be an easy scorecard. Yep. What do you have after 5?
On the unofficial Francis scorecard, definitely got Lucas Bahdi on all 5 rounds. Definitely doing what he got to do, putting on a performance, putting on a show tonight against Chavez.
A shutout, pitching a shutout, which he did last time out. Here we go. Lucas Bahdi putting on a clinic, as we thought he might.
He's in with a tough customer, so he has to do a little bit of trap setting. He got to set a few traps for Chavez to walk right into them if he wants the result that I know that he's looking for tonight.
How important is knockout for Lucas Bahdi at this stage, Chad?
It's not important for him. I know he wants to get it, and he would like to keep that knockout percentage as high as he has. But I know Lucas, he's just a very, very smart kid. He's a student of the game. Does he want it? Yes. Does he need it? Absolutely not. His power speaks for itself in the ring. He's got, like I said earlier, he's got a great team behind him with Stevie Bailey and Phil LaGreco as his manager. His future is very, very bright, and he's just too smart to be chasing a KO at this point of his career.
The rounds are good for him as well too, coming off the the layoff. He got some rounds the last fight, so this round again, getting some more rounds is very good for him.
Well, during his 11-run KO streak, none of his fights went past 4.
Get the body work out. Got a fake. Open the feet. Use that uppercut. Uppercut. Give yourself a little space next
Chavez is still smiling, waving to the crowd, but it's he's not fooling anybody else. He's not fooling the judges.
That was a nice 3 and 4 piece by Lucas Bahdi on the inside.
Good up jab.
Right uppercut goes downstairs. Let's dip in those legs so you can counter.
Bahdi's catching most of those punches. They're pretty. There's some steam on those punches, but they're hitting mostly glove.
And for the average person watching at home, they're thinking, why doesn't Lucas just rush this guy, He should just blow through him.
Yeah.
Diego Chavez hits hard, and he still has a lot of energy in the tank. Yes, he's clowning with the crowd, and he's taking shots and getting outboxed, but you still got to be careful, and you can't be reckless against a guy like Diego Chavez and walk into something stupid.
Especially with the awkward angles in which he throws his punches as well.
Well, I'm sure that's what Chavez wants. I mean, he wants Lucas Bahdi to, lose his cool and
break down and start getting wild.
Yeah. That opens the door. It's probably the only shot he has.
30 seconds to go in round number 6.
Uppercut to the chest. Loop that left hook.
Oh, and a beautiful right hand.
He said, Chavez says no, we say yes. But he does come. Chavez is coming back hard. Good flurry here to end the 6th round. Okay, let's look back at some of that action from round 6.
Another great round for Lucas Bahdi, working behind that jab, sticking that jab, and here he is, jab, 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 right hand over top, Good work from Lucas Bahadi, taking his time, being patient, working the body and the head like a veteran of the sport that he is, being smart in there. But we do got to give Diego Chavez a little credit. He's not here to lie down.
Yep.
He's playing to the crowd, but he's also throwing some wild, hard shots, which is keeping Lucas Bahadi honest a little bit from going gas to the floor and just going all out.
Yeah.
Diego Chavez's hard shot here and there is keeping Lucas honest.
That's what you want, right? You want an opponent that's going to give you a little bit of give back so you can work on some of the things that you was working on in camp. Here tonight, the corner and Lucas, they get to work on a lot of those angles, a lot of going back to the body, a lot of those things.
Yeah, a learning curve here, right? A lot to learn from this fight. What do you think about, Chavez sticking the tongue out and, putting his hands out?
That's just all. I have no control of what's happening in this boxing match, so let me make a face to make it seem like I have some sort of control.
Yeah,
but in reality, he has zero control.
And that's not going to affect a veteran like Bahdi.
No, not even for the least bit.
Short counter. See it. Dip. No. He's just surviving now, Lucas.
Nice job there from Bahadi. And guys, let's not forget, though Lucas Bahadi's a knockout puncher and he's known to be a puncher, he's got great defense. He's dropped, slipped, caught, so many punches from wild Diego Chavez tonight. We got to give Lucas Bahadi a little more credit on how good his ring generalship really is.
Absolutely. Definitely showed his defense tonight.
Right, and we're 7 rounds into this fight and there's not a mark on his face, right? So
there's not a mark on Diego Chavez's face either, and he's eating a lot of leather tonight.
A little trickle of the blood from the nose, that's about it.
Yeah.
Aim that overhand to the lead shoulder. As he's circling to the left to the center, the body's there.
Good body shot by Lucas Bahadi.
Let's feint out that jab now. Give me that Willis left hook.
Yeah, Chavez appears to have been affected by that body shot.
He don't like them body shots.
No.
Feint out that jab left hook.
Let's put some more water in the basement.
You got to keep pouring some more water in the basement.
Oh, and there's the right hand that lands flush.
Feint out the jab left hook.
You got to go back to the body.
Final 40 seconds here, round 7. There's that jab again. The uppercut just caught a piece of him.
30 seconds. 20. Nice.
Round 7
to a close. All right, let's go back to Francis's card through 7 rounds. Francis, how do you see it?
Joe, through 7 rounds, still got Lucas Bahdi absolutely in full control of this fight. He is frustrated. He is taken the orthodox fighter and turned him southpaw through all that confusion, and you gotta love it.
There we go.
And whether
10-9, 10-9, 10-9. Do I sound repetitive? 10-9, 10-9.
And whether or not Lucas Bahadi gets a knockout tonight, as we mentioned earlier, these are great rounds for him to get in against a tough guy like Diego Chavez, where Lucas can throw his hardest shot, and he still has to be conscious enough defensively to keep his hands up and know where his hands are at all times. And that's going to make him grow as a fighter at world championship level, because when you get to those levels, you can never take your foot off the gas offensively or defensively. So this is a very good fight for Lucas Bahadi's career moving forward, to fight a tough veteran like Diego Chavez.
Who I think at this point knows that he has to have a knockout to win this fight.
Yep, and we are in the 8th and final round.
8th and final round.
Oh, and a big right hand. As he was coming in, Bahadi made a nice little step back and counter with that right hand over top of the jab of Diego Chavez.
Are we going to see Chavez maybe get careless here in the 8th round when he knows he has to get a knockout to win?
He is, but he could end up shooting himself in the foot by walking into the power and precision of Lucas Bahadi.
Just missed with the right hand. That left hook by Chavez. Again, off the
and
glove.
A beautiful right uppercut.
Body. Counters with the left hook, right hand.
You gotta go back to the body, champ.
He's gotta pop that chain and stick, and everything's coming off that jab.
Stick it to the body.
Everything off the jab. And a nice check look by our short right hand.
Beautiful combination. Boucher warning him to keep the head up.
You drop to the body off that uppercut.
Good turn right there from Lucas Bahdi.
Like a matador.
Like a matador.
Yeah.
Right now, Chavez is doing everything he can. He's looking for angles. Can Lucas catch him?
Yes, he got him with the right left. Didn't quite.
A nice straight right hand.
A sneaky right hand lead.
It was just straight down the pipe, just bang. As Diego Chavez rushed in with a wild shot.
That right hook to the body is there all day.
There it is. There it is. He must have heard you, Francis.
Very nice.
Left hook lands.
Oh, a big right hand.
Chavez hanging on for dear life here.
Yes, he is. 10 seconds to go.
Well, he won't get the knockout, but he certainly made Chavez respect that power tonight.
Definitely.
Beautiful performance by Lucas Bahdi and a courageous performance by Diego Chavez. Hats off to both men. Onward and upward for Lucas Bahdi. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the fight. And the big left hooks from Bahdi, that hurt Chavez. Unfortunately, there was too little too late.
Okay, here's some of the action from that final round where Lucas Bahdi appeared to have Diego Andrade Chavez out on his feet. Chavez, if there's any more time left, probably would have gone down in this fight, but
what started it was when Lucas Bahdi stepped back and countered Chavez as he was coming in. And then when he hurt him again, it was a 3 and 4 punch combination. But again, great performance by Lucas Bahdi. He boxed beautifully from the outside. Hats off to Diego Chavez. He fought a tough, courageous fight. Onward and upward for Lucas Bahdi. He's got a very bright future. He's one of my favorite fighters here in the province. He's a very explosive, smart, humble, well-mannered kid. He has a very bright future ahead of him, and that should be a no-brainer on the scorecards here tonight, Francis.
Yeah, that's a right to left combination that really got him in trouble. All right, let's have a look now at Francis's scorecard through 8 rounds.
Through 8 rounds, I got Lucas, the Prince Bahadi, all 8 rounds. The winner.
87-2.
That's
UD. He definitely put on a performance tonight. I was impressed by his performance. By an opponent that tried to switch, tried to cause confusion, went to the body, was throwing hard shots from awkward angles, and he was still able to keep his composure, stick behind the jab, to the head, to the body, and land those shots.
Try some wrestling maneuvers, tried the sticking the tongue out. It wasn't really an effective move for him.
Against the young lion, Lucas Bahadi and his strong team, nothing's going to break this kid. As I said, a great performance tonight, a great night here at Red Owl Boxing. Let's take it up to our ring announcer for the official decision.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Alan Davis has the bout 79-73. Jasper Kujavsky scores it 78-74, and Jeremy Hayes has it 80-72 for your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Prince Lucas Bahdi.
Interview first. Okay. Bahdi with a very impressive performance. Remains undefeated at 13-0. This fight went the distance, but another 30 seconds or so, and perhaps it wouldn't. Here's George Nasios with Lucas Bahdi.
We're here with Lucas Bahdi now. Great win, great fight. That fight had a little bit of everything, went the distance. Congratulations on the win. I just want to get your impressions.
What an amazing crowd tonight. Great atmosphere in here. I want to say a big thank you to Red Owl. I'm honored to fight over here in this in the Owl's Nest. Gabe, thank you so much. All the sponsors, thank you guys. And I want to thank my opponent, Diego. He came out to fight tonight. He came to win, and he is one tough bugger. Yeah. Tried a little bit of everything tonight. He came out swinging wild, but I got the job done.
You did get the job done indeed. Did it surprise you the first couple rounds how much he came on the attack?
No, I expected it. I watched just a couple of his videos and I knew he puts the heat on, so I was expecting that. I also want to say a big thank you to my corner, Stevie Bailey, Sarah, and Sam Decarie. Thank you guys.
Now, I gotta ask you a couple more things. Usually we see some, maybe like you want to call them hijinks or whatever. It seemed like he put it on like a little extra mustard there. Did it throw you off at all, or it seemed like you handled it, but did it throw you off at all at any point, or are you used to that type of stuff?
When he was throwing those wild shots, no, I'm used to it. I've seen every single shot coming, so that wasn't an issue. My defense was on, my distance was good, so I seen everything coming tonight.
And then I know you've referred to it already. Proud with your heritage, coming in with the Italian and Palestinian flag. I know the guys...
And Canadian.
And the Canadian flag, my bad. But I know the two brothers that run this place, Gabriel and Steve Fanous, really are proud to have a Palestinian brother on their card. How was the Prince's first fight in the Owl's Nest?
It was a pleasure, and I hope I get the invite back because this is an amazing place to fight, an amazing stadium. Thank you guys.
Congratulations, Lucas.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
All right, there you go. Lucas Bahdi with a very impressive victory.
And a class act after the fight. Congratulations to everyone across the board. As I mentioned earlier, fellas, he's one of my top prospects here, not only in the province, but in the country. He's got the patience, he's got the mindset, he's got the team. There's nothing from stopping from this kid from becoming a world champion. So the big things to come for him moving forward. And a great night here at the Owl's Nest for him to make his Owl's Nest debut against a tough Diego Chavez. We have to give Diego Chavez credit. Yeah. He took a lot of big shots against a guy with one of the highest knockout ratios in the game. Yeah. So hats off to Diego Chavez for coming here and making it an eventful night here in the main event.
He made it actually pretty fun, you know, with the tactics sticking out the tongue, the rest, and it was amazing. But for Prince to get the rounds tonight, I think is very good. Like you were saying earlier, you know, being inactive for a little bit with the hand injuries, getting back active, 18 months. Said he wants to be a world champion, so you need rounds like this to build onto the experience.
He's going to have to stay busy, but I mean, that's no problem for him. He's been busy all the way through, except for the pandemic, which shut things down for a little bit, and the hand injuries, as I mentioned. But, you know, Lucas Bahdi loves to fight. He wants to fight, and he's, bring it on. Bring it on.
He loves the fight, and like I said, he's a student of the game. He has such a strong team with Stevie Bailey in his gym, and all his other stable mates that are training there. It's like a small little Vegas up there they have in Guelph at Stevie Bailey's gym, and they have a great team behind him, and he wants it. Lucas Bahadi wants it. I talk to him, I see him. That's all he poses. He wants to become a world champion. His manager, Phil Greco, is very passionate about getting him to that level. So between the two of them and the strong team that he has, there's no reason why Lucas Bahadi couldn't become a world champion. And with guys like Gabriel Fanous opening the Owl's Nest to any fighter who wants to come here and perform, that is going to build the sport of boxing in this province. No locked-in contracts. Come to fight, do your job, and that is one of the greatest things I've seen ever in this country in the sport of boxing, is the Red Owl Boxing opening their doors to any and every fighter.
That's willing to come out and put on a show.
You know, it reminds me a little bit of Philly's Blue Horizon, the intimacy here. It's like we got this is kind of the Blue Horizon North. The Red Owl is the Blue Horizon North. But, you know, congratulations once again to Gabe and everybody here at Red Owl that put on a tremendous show. Congratulations to all the athletes who, you know, who everybody came to fight. Just recap, we had such a tremendous card here tonight. You know, we saw Tristan Brookes, you know, in the 4th round TKO to improve to 2-0. Whyte lost his fight to Gutierrez, Jose Gutierrez Bolanos from Mexico, who came in here and wow.
That was a draw, wasn't it?
Sorry, that was a draw.
Yeah.
That was a draw, yeah. That was Mathusen Mahindas in a lightweight contest, scored his decision over Garcia Reyes. The big upset of the evening, Jose Maruffo from Mexico scored that 5th round upset knockout over Johnny Birmpilis, Johnny the Greek, and it was you know, that was a surprise. But
and Vlad Panin, my first time seeing him, he fought a great performance. He looked great, and obviously the main event, the man Lucas Bahadi with a explosive, dominant performance and a very, very smart performance from start to finish. Hats off to him and his team. Hats off to Gabe Fanous and his brother Steve and the Red Owl team. They put on a great boxing event here live on DAZN here in Brampton, Ontario, the Owl's Nest. Thank you for everyone for coming out, and we'll see you the next time here at the Owl's Nest.
all right, for Steve Molitor, Francis, I'm Joe Tilley. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.